top five.
Yeah, girl. You ready to do this? You ready to count this thing down? We're doing the top 5, her. Yeah, let's set it off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Des, so we asked this question, but we never got around to it before. What would the Ruffles mascot be?
The Ruffles mascot?
Ruffles doesn't have a mascot, so what would the Ruffles mascot be?
I was amazed looking at some of the mascot choices and, trying to find interesting stories, right?
Yeah.
And some of them are so stupidly named. So the Ruffles mascot would probably be named something ridiculous like
Ruffy?
Chip.
Yeah.
That's good. That's not
And it would
ridiculous.
be
Lowest common denominator. I
chips
would go
with eyes that just smiled,
Yeah,
like,
Chip.
So-
Chip is a good one.
Yeah.
Mine, I would go hard left, like opposite, and give like a gentlemanly, like Shakespearean type man who's dressed with a lot of ruffles, and have him play like the straight man to the Ruffles universe, where like everybody else is on the couch eating chips, and then like Ruffles comes in.
Is it Mark Ruffalo?
No, I would never besmirch him with such a simple and straightforward campaign.
He'd do it. He's desperate for work.
No, that man is tremendous and beautiful.
That guy is
Don't
not
say
working.
that.
He wanted to get on this episode. We were like, we got.
Listen, the Incredible fucking Hulk. You can't do it.
Mark, maybe a couple
Food
years ago.
Mascot.
I like that, the Sir Potato Ruffle.
Exactly.
Sir
He's
Potato.
just really pretentious. And so the opening shot is like 2 dudes on the couch, and then you pull out, and he's like the third guy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's just like, you
was feeling-
monsters.
Oh, and and like
You're a
each.
French onion dip.
I don't know.
Yeah, each vignette is how they come up with each of the flavors, and it's like this cream has gone sour,
Yeah.
and someone throws an
This
onion
dip
at him.
reminds me of a French,
Yeah,
Where are these wings from?
I always feel
Upstate
weird when
New
the
York?
mascot is like, it looks like the thing that you're eating,
I
Because then
have-
it's like, eat my friends.
Save it for the cast,
Save it to
my friend.
Thank you. You used it. You used it. We should just get into it.
Even
Yeah.
my children are into that. Like because they watch kids TV, which are like cereal commercials and
Oh,
all that
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, Why
I don't
does the
understand his
Cinnamon Toast Crunch
motivation."
want you to eat it?
I heard a rumor
right.
about boxes of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh.
Maybe we should save it for
We're
the
going to save it. We're doing it. We're saving for the cast because
Yeah.
the cast starts now.
Is this
Keep going.
Is this required?
Keep going. Keep going.
Leslie just scats for the first 5 minutes. Oh.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Ranked Top 5 Lists of Stuff That Don't Matter. I'm your host, Tuong La, and today in the Pod Cavern, we have 2 new pod dwellers that have just come up and hold their way into the cavern. And to my right, we have Double Danger Doobastic. That's not a word.
I'm glad we discussed this before.
Doobie doo, whoop whoop whoop. Des Warmington. Hi.
Wow.
You like?
Thanks, Tuong.
See?
That's
the type of
what my
fanfare
husband
we.
said when he married me. Those were the words he had to
Des
repeat back to
doobied
the
up,
face.
wop, double danger.
Yeah. Double danger.
I like
I
that.
like it. Thank you very much.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having
We
me.
wanted you for so long, but you're so hard to schedule
It's
around.
true, and that's why we're doing this in the dead of winter during a freezing ice storm.
That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. It's a good thing we're in a cave.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true, actually.
Yeah.
Shelter.
Exactly.
And the acoustics are incredible.
They are.
Edible.
Des, who is this magnificent guest across from you?
Sitting across me, rocking the purple cans. That's what you call them, right? You call them cans. Is Geoff McBride.
Hello.
Jeff
Jeff?
McBride.
Hi.
Jeff Purple Can McBride.
McBride.
Wait, what is the headphones you're talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
Cans.
Cans. That's what DJs call them.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
This is
Sorry.
a podcast, Tuong.
Yeah, but this isn't a freaking dance studio.
Oh.
Well,
When you say purple cans, I was looking at your nips. I was like,
I would
Are you cool?
never.
wait a second.
I
should
would
I turn up the
never.
here?
Oh, wow.
Jeff Purple Cans McBride, thank
Yeah.
you for being here.
My pleasure.
Also,
I'm
same
glad.
thing. It was very hard to schedule you.
I know. Spot
We
people
wanted
with
you-
children at the table.
Yeah. Well, who is this child beside you?
I'm almost afraid a man who needs little or no introduction because he usually provides it himself. Take it away, Leslie.
Oh, God. Here we go.
What do you want to do?
I wanna rank and roll all night and rank every day. I wanna rank and roll all night. Sing it, everyone! And rank every day.
Oh, God.
Rank, 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 rank. Rank, 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 rank.
Wow. Usually when people... Leslie Cserepy, everyone. He's in the house.
I'm back.
Usually
Rank
when...
Nation. I'm here.
Usually when Leslie does a bit that requires everyone to join in on a song, everyone denies it to him.
Oh.
Yeah. So
What?
But
It's true.
It's true.
I've been denied several times,
Yeah.
but thank you. I feel the love.
I was excited to hear what the song was. And
His
when I
head
heard the
is
choice,
blown
I
up right
agreed.
now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought, like, do I have to find a theme song? I didn't know. I think I've got
Mine would
like.
have been the
Oh,
Family
maybe this will
Matters
be a
theme
trend.
song.
Maybe I've started a dangerous trend where guests are now required to get their own theme song, do
But-
their own intro.
But throw in the word ranked whenever
yeah,
possible.
absolutely.
Ranked.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, today, are you guys hungry?
Yeah.
Perpetually hungry.
I actually didn't eat dinner before this, so that was a mistake.
Oh, it's so late at night.
But let's talk about food, shall we? Everyone loves food, but more importantly, everyone loves food mascots.
Everyone.
How else do
Yeah.
we know what we should put in our bodies?
That's right.
I think the role of a food mascot, like if you have a really good one, it will sell the food. True?
That's what
Yeah,
all
that's
advertisers
right.
for.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the hope,
If you have
yes.
a shitty food mascot, chances are I'm not going to try your food.
I don't know. I have a couple shitty ones on my list
Nice.
where
Okay.
it's still,
Well,
I still buy that food.
you'll still
Right.
buy it.
Yeah.
But if you have a really good one, you'll try it. You know, if you've never tried it before,
Oh,
they'll
it's
sell it to you.
definitely. Yeah.
It's definitely a selling factor.
Well, and it's reassuring too. Like
Yeah.
some of them are like, "Oh, that face. I know that face."
it's a
Right.
really friendly face,
Yeah.
or not.
I
and some of
trust
them-
Sugar Bear or whomever. I don't trust Sugar Bear, actually.
Oh.
It creeps me out a little.
Oh my God, we have much to
Wow.
talk about. So today we are doing top 5 food mascots. But before we get started, let's come up with the ground rules here. What kind of food mascots are we talking about? I will start off by saying I think any food mascot, whether that's a restaurant, whether it's a cereal mascot, snack mascot, whatever.
Beverages.
Right.
Sure.
Yes. Good.
Okay.
Right.
As long as it's food.
All
Yeah,
right.
as long as it
Writing
is
down
edible.
ones coming to mind right now.
Okay.
Any other ground rules we want to come up with?
I kind of want to stay away from problematic stereotypes.
Yeah.
So, for example, like your white man plantation owner types, like
What do you
the
say?
Colonel or maybe Orville Redenbacher, like those old white mustached dudes. And the counterpart of that were your Miss Butterworths and your Jemimas and your Uncle Bens.
Well, let me just cross
I don't
off
think
half
anybody's
my
like, oh my
list.
gosh. I had her poster in my room. Like, I don't think I'm breaking any hearts on this one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think maybe it's something we should.
I don't know if it needs to be a ground rule, but I think it should be said.
'Kay.
It should be said.
Yeah.
Some of
Yeah.
these mascots came at a weird time.
Absolutely.
You know?
And it's all
But,
in the eye of the beholder.
is
I
it the
suppose.
mascot's fault?
No.
Wow.
But
the people who made the
This is why I
mascots.
don't want it to be a thing, because now I'm just full of white person guilt and confusion as to
Well, but it's
how
not
to take a stand.
like you don't want to perpetuate, right?
That's
Like,
right.
it's-
Yeah,
it's-
yeah.
I
And,
don't be like, this guy's so great.
and it's so hard because it exists and it's in the language and it's in,
It's cultural.
Well, what are we
grew up
basing
with it
Yeah,
and-
because
How do we define
how do
what
we
it is?
define a good food mascot, right? Because I didn't do any history checking before looking
That's
at all
true.
my food mascots, but I bet if you
Dug too deep.
dug too deep, probably all of them came from a bad place.
Well, I did. Actually, that was one of most of what I was looking for was a good story behind the mascot
Wow.
kind of thing.
Okay.
You did some research.
So I did a little bit of research, yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, funnily enough, Mr. Redenbacher was on my list, but I'll consider removing him.
No, but if you
he
know
seemed
anything
pretty
about
benign.
him, if he's like a pediatric
You
heart
can go to
surgeon,
honorable
that's
mentions.
cool
But,
too.
go straight to honorable mentions.
But
Yeah.
yeah, generally just sort of like interesting story
Yeah.
was the thing that I was.
That's what you were gunning for?
That's good.
Interesting.
Oh, like a
I
book
chose
report.
mine on how cool they look.
Yeah. How they made me feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I like the food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I ever repeat a thing they said? Ooh, so here's something that I think is maybe worth saying, because it sort of came up in other podcasts, but it's the mascot, but not the jingle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because
So
a
it's
lot
the
of
mascot, but
mascots-
not the actual food. Or is that what you're trying to go
like,
for?
I don't know. Well, this is it. I guess I'm asking for clarification because if there's a mascot that is affiliated with a jingle, and
Oh,
you're like,
I see. It's like
oh,
actually-
like ba da ba ba ba, for example, but like the character himself, isn't that dope?
Interesting.
Timberlake, great mascot. Great mascot.
Boo.
I see.
That's anyway.
I don't.
But what about like? Does that include like catchphrase and things like that? 'Cause
No.
all of
No,
them
because
are
the
big.
catchphrase
Okay.
sort of makes
But
the
some
mascot.
catchphrases are embedded in the tune, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we can talk about it
We
when
can
it
talk
comes
about
up.
it. I don't know if I have any
Because
nominations
I have
like
one that is sort of
that will come up.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
kind of jingly.
it's harder to parse without the jingle.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anything else that
get
matters?
Get excited,
Foreshadowing.
Frank Nation.
Anything else that matters? I think also like how well it represents the food it's doing is a factor. Does it matter how tasty that food is
No.
afterwards?
No.
I don't
God,
think so.
no.
No.
I don't think so. But as long as it's waving that flag,
Yeah.
Yeah.
proudly, then I think
Right.
that's good. Yeah.
Wait, does this mean like this is this the revival of the Taco Bell dog? Perhaps.
Save it for the cast, Jeff. Come on.
I'm just so excited.
Just like
on the cusp of
every
it.
other episode, we're all gonna nominate 3 nominations each. Make a master list of 12, and then we're gonna whittle that down into a top 5 list.
Right.
I'll go first. I don't know the history behind this mascot, Jeff. I'm sorry,
Maybe Jeff does.
but you might. But I'm gonna start off with a banger. I'm going poppin' fresh.
Oh,
Pillsbury Doughboy.
Classic.
I got
Wonderful.
some notes here.
You got some notes?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Even though it was my nomination, I don't know the history. So Jeff, lay down some
Oh, okay.
knowledge
No,
for us.
this is fast. He was one of them. He has a name. His name is Joseph Pillsbury.
What a fine young gentleman.
Yeah.
Joseph.
And he was originally animated, but then they got excited by seeing some stop motion stuff, so they created the actual physical thing that they could
Cutting
animate.
edge
I suppose.
stop motion.
Then I found some fascinating things about he has a family as well.
Get out of here.
No, I know. And
Wait,
and
is
they're-
he a dad?
Well, this
No.
is here is some controversy. So
Ooh.
this might
I love
remove
this.
him from. I can't believe
contention?
I'm defending your. Anyway,
No,
I didn't do the research.
so
It came
so
up.
he has a family. There is Poppy Fresh, who and now this is a point of contention for the collectors of the figurines. There's a whole set of figurines
I
that
bet
you can
there
collect of
is.
this. As to whether Poppy Fresh is his sister, his girlfriend, or his wife. So there's a little Chinatown thing going on.
No.
Yeah, there's also Grand
Poppy
Popper.
Poppy Fresh is heroin addicted, by the way. We should mention.
It's a nickname.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
She's actually like a 6 foot tall redhead woman.
That's right.
They met on Tinder. They're not both made of dough.
No. They have children, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's Popper, a young boy. There's Bun Bun, who's the baby.
Wow.
That's
They have
tough.
pets as well.
Wow.
Wait, are they all made of dough?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, you
Wow.
can
I
search
know.
these.
Eat the whole family.
There's Flapjack, the dog, and Biscuit, the cat.
Oh, so on the nose. I love it.
This is an elaborate family.
I know.
my
And then
gosh.
there's, of course, because every family needs a weird uncle, there's Uncle Roly.
Is he an alcoholic?
Rolly,
I-
yeah,
Maybe
He's not
that's
because his eyes are always very bleary
somebody
and
go
red.
wake up Uncle Roly.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Uncle Rolly.
Interesting.
yeah, that was that was
That's
kind of neat.
very interesting. Thank you for doing that research for
That
me,
runs
Jeff.
deep. I only have
But
anecdotal support. Of
That's
why
interesting that you
he's
bring
so
up his
great.
family because is that a factor that he has a family?
No,
I don't think so.
I didn't know that ever. My kids, when they were smaller and I needed to bribe them for things, which is still ongoing, I would always say, like, if we do X or Y, we'll go to the Muffin Man, which meant we'll go get a muffin from any muffin store. And my husband has a series of retro vintage T-shirts that are all Kellogg mascots, and one is Pillsbury Doughboy, and they just think he's the Muffin Man. So like from the song The Muffin Man, they think the Pillsbury Doughboy is the Muffin Man, which I think is kind of cool because they don't know who
I
he
think
is outside of that context.
Speaks to how beloved they are.
Yeah.
Well,
which is why I made.
He's pretty
the list.
wholesome
Yeah.
considering.
Well, I mean, he lets everyone poke his belly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if someone did that to me constantly, I'd be very mad.
Yeah.
That's not a great thing to have.
Comfortable with
He's
it.
comfortable with it, and he laughs about it. Giggles
He does
about
giggle about it, which is why it's sort of off-putting that he is a parent. Because he strikes me as being pretty juvenile.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, strangers, it's fine.
Oh, I made a mistake once.
It. I was just
When he goes
watching.
home, he takes off his hat and he's like, life is hard.
Yeah.
I was watching a commercial right before the cast, and it was basically basically him going through airport security, and they're like, they have to check him, and they're like, sir, you can't laugh while we're doing this. But every time they get close to him, poke his belly, he's laughing.
Well,
so-
first of all, TSA, don't poke any bellies.
Yeah,
No.
come on.
Yeah.
That's,
What are you
that's-
looking for?
Yeah, we did.
So did they pull him aside for a secondary check? And
Yeah,
Yeah.
they ran him through the thing, and he's just
Yeah.
all dope.
a bunch of
He's actually blacklisted, actually.
bunch of
Fly list.
He's on the
missed his
no-fly
flight
list.
because he was in.
That's
they
right.
kept him
Yeah.
behind. And
bunch of drugs fell out of his
Yeah.
dough butt.
His-
Yeah,
Leslie, what do you have as your first nomination?
that's not powdered sugar. Okay. My first pick is, we need someone cool, right? I think this is where
Oh no,
where
I
I'm
know,
going with
I know
this.
exactly what you're saying.
Oh, really? But do you know the character I'm thinking of? Because I'm thinking of a real cool cat. I'm
never
thinking
mind.
of the cool cat.
No.
I know
Chester.
No.
Cheetah.
No.
He's so cool.
Dude, if I
Was
could
there
have
anyone
a crush,
cooler?
like he,
Chester-
for whatever reason, he was always the coolest guy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a dick.
Yeah, but
Really?
you know,
I don't remember him ever
Chester
sliding
fucked.
anybody.
You know he did.
Chester
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah, he has a cool car.
He has a cool car. He's always wearing shades. Nothing gets him down. He's unflappable.
He's got that cool gravelly voice.
That's true. Oh
right?
yeah.
And he's kind of like he he's probably in a jazz band or something.
right.
Yeah.
Oh God, it would be a terrible jazz band.
No way, man. Yeah, Chester.
Chester.
Cheeto.
Chester, yeah.
There's some sexuality to him. He's like the
Yeah.
opposite end of the spectrum.
He's
from,
pretty lanky though.
from
Yeah,
Joseph Pillsbury.
Chester's like the kind of a person that would like
Beat me up in high school. Is
Yeah,
what
there's a bit of a
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
that's why I don't.
Yeah,
like him.
that was what I was gonna say. He would be in like if he were going on a date, he would wait outside in his convertible and honk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
You
too
know?
cool. He
Yeah.
does a lot of casual leaning.
Yeah,
You know what I
he
mean? Like,
does. He does.
So I was just leaning. He's like, "Hey, what's up?"
Hey, what's
And
up?
then he flicks you a Cheeto, and you're like, "Oh gosh."
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But he's a bad
Chester
boy.
looked
He's a
to
bad
me.
boy.
He
He's a
is.
bad boy.
It's true.
Bad boy.
Yeah.
But sometimes we need bad boys.
Sometimes we need
Absolutely.
some bad boys.
And you know what? It fits the Cheetos brand because Cheetos is sort of like a fuck around food.
You think so?
Yeah. You're not eating Cheetos in church, Tongue. This is kind of the like you're hanging around with your
That's
buddies.
great.
Well, that's right. I guess
You're
I've
not
never,
supposed to eat anything in church,
I've never eaten Cheetos in church. You're right. You're right.
but it's messy and it's like
it is messy.
noisy. It's not a polite snack.
It's very crunchy,
That's sort of the thing.
puffy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
crunchy.
Ooh, Chester Cheetah. I
Crunchy
forgot about
and
him, man.
Messy, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Crunchy.
excited
It's just it brings sex to the Cheeto, you know.
I thought.
I didn't.
And I think there's a
I
place
feel like-
for.
I'm surprised I have feelings about this, but
I feel like
have this I have similar
Chester
feeling.
should wear a leather jacket.
I believe he has, or he
does.
does.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh,
Does
dude.
he?
Yeah.
I thought he was
He
in
must.
the nude
He
all the
must have.
time.
I feel as though there have been stretches of time where he has been in a leather jacket. Maybe
God,
not all
he's
the time.
cool.
Also,
He's
she's
cool.
a cheetah.
And he's got big feet.
No, but it's a
so-
fake leather jacket, and not because he's vegan or anything.
You don't know
He's
that.
like a big poser. That's what I just.
Yeah.
If Chester, is he even still around in 2018?
He must be.
Because he should be rebranded as a hipster with a beard, and he works at a.
Oh.
Oh yeah, Chester's growing up now.
yeah,
and
exactly.
he's-
He makes organic cocktails at a.
Listen, that was my
Vegan
old
bar.
me. That's
Yeah.
the old
Yeah.
me. Okay.
I'm not going to apologize for who I was, but I'm atoning for my mistakes.
Jeff, what is your first nomination?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna go from the rough machismo to the wholesome sensuality of the sun-made raisin girl.
Wow.
Does she have a name?
She does actually. She was an actual person again, and it goes back to 1915. The woman's name was Lorraine Collette, and she was she actually worked. Or her family worked picking raisins, picking grapes, and she was spotted by an executive from the fruit packing company as she was in her backyard wearing her mother's red bonnet.
You there? I'm from the fruit pack.
Yeah, no.
Would you
and,
like to
and
be
she
a
just had her
raisin
hair
model?
washed and set, so it was falling
Oh my
nicely
goodness.
curled.
I can
Wow.
picture this.
And she was hired to hand out raisins at the, I think it was the Pacific, Pan Pacific Expo in
Well, that'll do it.
1915,
The PPE,
1917,
sure. And she never
something
looked
like that.
back.
And then after that, they commissioned the painting of her. So that was this was the real person, and she actually worked
I can
Like
just
picking
picture her
raisins.
like sitting in a Cadillac for a parade, you know, like
Yeah.
wearing a sash,
Yeah,
small town
and of
princess
course
royalty.
she's grown up over the years. Like it was, originally a watercolor painting, and now it's this sort of CGI thing.
she's a real person.
She's a real
yeah,
person.
That's one of the
it's
ground rules we never
incredibly-
talked about.
and it
Yeah,
hasn't really.
I'm okay with
changed.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, real people count.
Loretta.
Yeah, but I mean, she became
Yeah.
this thing. Like
That's
it wasn't.
great.
wasn't
She became a face that trick-or-treaters go like, fuck. Loretta, get out of my fucking bed.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really
Shitting
pumped
me.
to see her, honestly.
I do. Raisins have a place in time, but it's not in a
Not on
bag full of
Halloween.
candy.
No.
Yeah.
But you were always,
good.
again, going back to high school and getting beaten up. If you had raisins in your lunch,
Yeah.
that was something. That was
That's
sun-made
tough,
raisins,
man.
not
As
the
a-
no-name raisins, right?
No.
No,
Oh,
definitely not the
cool.
no-name
Yeah.
raisins.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Person
Yeah.
who was actually affiliated with raisins. It's not like the Gerber baby where it's like, there's a face that looks fat.
Yeah.
Do you think the family gets raisins for life?
They should.
I have no idea.
What a
I
bummer thing to
imagine,
get for life.
I don't imagine.
Well, that's what I was wondering. I was like,
Yeah.
did she travel for the rest of her life as a spokesperson?
No,
for
She
She
some
probably
businesses?
signed over her life for like 20 cents.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's like,
that's the
wow,
thing.
you're going to paint my portrait? You can have the royalty
Yeah.
and rights
well,
to
they,
my face.
they painted the portrait and then they trademarked it.
So that's it.
So,
So
they own
everything-
her.
They own her essentially. She did
Oh,
go
what a
on
tragic
to
tale.
Hollywood to. But I don't think she was a terribly successful.
Oh, she was
actress.
typecasted.
Oh my gosh, this is a Lifetime movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sun made, but like ADE.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sun made.
Sun
Is that
made.
even how it's actually spelled? No, it's sun made. It's like
Sun made.
maiden of the
And that's how they
suns.
came up with the name. The raisins are made by the sun, and the sun made.
That's some smart marketing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's even a really
People think about
sappy
these
Soul
things.
Asylum song called "Sun Made." So,
About raisins?
it's about the sun made.
Listen, a lot of media is based on raisins.
California raisins.
That's
That's a whole. Spoiler alert.
Des, give me your
Sorry.
nomination.
Okay, so I have a few that I'm fond of, but I'm gonna go into the most ridiculous one because I feel like it's ridiculous in a weird way, and that's the Cadbury bunny. So the Cadbury bunny. So Cadbury is a chocolate company that exists on multiple continents, and British Cadbury is different than Canadian Cadbury. But the Cadbury bunny is exclusive to North America because North Americans are such like doofy weirdos that a bunny that goes buck 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 like appeals to us. Whereas in Britain, they're like, no, that shit's so base.
No, we'd rather
No. But I feel like it's pretty synonymous. It's a seasonal thing, which I think serves it better because then you're not seeing it round the clock. The bunny shows up. It sounds like a chicken. No one asks why. You eat your chocolate eggs. You pack it up. You go home. And I find that, and it's synonymous with the season too. Like Cadbury specifically, obviously, because that's the commercials. But you see this bunny in a field of green and
And you eat him.
he's a chicken. No, you don't eat him. You eat his delicious delicious rabbit chicken eggs.
Yeah, but then you
on.
eat him after.
eat
Sure,
him after,
Do you?
yeah.
Surely.
Probably.
Surely you eat
Have
him.
a little
Yeah.
Is he
Haas
made
and
it?
pfeffer.
But because the Cadbury, the rabbit or bunny, like on an
bunny.
Easter, there's always
Right.
a chocolate bunny.
Right, but I think its direct affiliation is with the eggs.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
But maybe also you're eating his brethren. Because they're all weirdos that are part chicken, and that
Yeah.
has never been explained. And as a child, I always remember thinking, like, this will be the commercial where they explain why the rabbit makes the chicken
Oh my
sound.
God, I would love
I'm like,
that.
no, it's just mythology. Everybody knows this is why.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love thinking of like the pitch meeting. It was like, we need something.
Something wholesome.
Something good. I don't know. Rabbits.
Well, it's not enough.
Chickens.
Yeah.
Chickens are funny.
Chickens are funny. Chickens
Yeah.
are in this year.
And rabbits don't make sound, so let's
Yeah.
just make him like they're testing different sounds for the rabbit to make.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
air horn. No. Can the rabbit hiss like a snake? No.
No.
I did not have sexual relations. It's just like, no,
No, not
no,
that.
no,
Not that. What else is
No.
just inoffensive and children can know, children can identify it immediately. The rabbit that sounds like a chicken.
We are moving on to round 2.
Ding, 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 ding.
That was a pretty intense round 1, guys.
Yeah.
Lots happened. I'm having trouble because there's so many food mascots out there.
There is.
Actually, too many.
I sort of narrowed it down in my brain a little bit, especially because you can just swim in an ocean of cereal mascots. For an
Yeah, I know. The cereal
eternity.
mascots rule
They
them
all like cancel each other out.
There really is a
almost.
plethora of cereal
Yes.
mascots.
There's a fair amount of fast food mascots out there, but they're not as interesting.
Well, We'll see what you think.
Oh, just you wait.
Okay.
We'll see what you think.
Okay.
Just you
Okay.
wait.
If you nominate Grimace, I will just face palm.
I got to wear a gray suit one time.
I'm going to nominate the Count. Chocula.
The Count.
The Count Chocula.
Now, I made note of his name. Did you know his name Count Alfred Chocula?
Yes. And that made it even higher on my list.
That boosted it up, man.
Yeah, because there's sophistication to him.
Right, he is a count.
He's a count. But he doesn't feed on people, you know? He's not a mean vampire. I think vampires get a lot of bad rap.
Right.
Where they like try
It's
to
true.
kill
And
you.
counts are always assumed to be vampires. Now that I think about it, like a count in my brain is instantly a vampire.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what.
It's a shame that you're a count.
Can you count the cash? What? Anyways, yeah, Count Chocula. Great cereal, first of all.
I've never had
It's very
this.
similar to, you know, the Flintstones, like Pebbles, the ones
Yeah.
that turn your milk into chocolate.
Right.
Or the Nesquik cereal where that turns... anything that turns your milk into chocolate milk after wins a lot of points.
But those are the Frankenberry and Blueberry and
Yeah.
Count Chocula. Those
all
are
a family
those
of-
are
It's a
all,
family.
Yeah.
But out of all those,
Spooky
the
dudes.
Count.
the Count. Yeah.
Comes out of a coffin.
Count is the leader of the gang.
I'd say
He was.
I
yeah.
think so. He's
the
a Superman.
Vampires have lived forever, so he's
True.
he's been around.
Yeah.
He's been around.
So does he drink chocolate instead of blood?
I think so.
I think we could write this fan fiction if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just establish the whole thing.
It's a good question.
I don't know.
No, I think they probably just made him like the same way that the Count on Sesame Street. It's like, we are not going to talk about anything to do with being a vampire.
Yeah.
We're just going to call you the Count, and children are
Yeah,
not going to
they're-
understand what that means.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think the Count Chocula does too many vampire type things. Except he does come out of a coffin.
And they're
Like,
bats,
this is-
right? There was like those,
he might fly.
Like, aren't there marshmallow bats in some of the
I
things?
think you're right.
Yeah.
Limited
I
edition.
think you're right. Yeah.
But he's cool.
He's because
You
they're
know, I
fucking
think
sexy,
cool.
man.
I like the look of the Count, but no commercial is popping out to me. Like, what does the Count do?
Oh, they used to go on all sorts of adventures.
Yeah.
It was almost.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
They,
he's
they were
a
almost a serial, as in
a
a
show.
show,
Serialized.
with themselves. You know, like
Yeah.
each commercial would be a different.
Oh, that's
thing.
fun.
He
There's
likes
some
the Count.
things.
Yeah.
There's some things for sure.
Count is
Some
great.
rivalry between Frankenberry
Yeah.
or whatever the
Yeah.
heck it's called.
I think that was it, is to see whose cereal was the best. You know?
But Count Chocula.
And then
100%.
we were talking about the Olympics earlier, and I believe they were also like they would tie in with Olympic events and
course.
things like that.
Why not?
You see Count
Because-
Chocula going down a ski hill.
Yeah.
Count Chocula. He could turn into a bat. That's unfair.
Yeah.
And every
I
Olympic
want to see him in
athlete
water polo.
eats Count Chocula before.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
In between whatever's laps,
No.
births.
He's a friendly vampire, and that's kind of what I'm going for. And he has
That's
great
good.
cereal as well.
That's
So
important.
I think he represents. You know exactly what you're getting into when you hear the name Count Chocula.
Yeah.
There's chocolate.
There's no confusion.
There's no confusion
And
whatsoever.
hey, you know what? He's a sharp dresser too.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Those
he
wide
is.
collars.
Yeah.
Wide collars. Yep.
So that is my second
Okay,
nomination.
all
Leslie.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna go this route, and It's a little bit meme-ish. Some of you might not agree,
All right.
but I'm gonna go with the Burger King. Oh. Okay. And there's an immediate disappointment over everyone in the room.
I friggin' hate that face.
It is a horrifying face.
Exactly.
And a
Okay.
horrifying like mask to get all the children to wear.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know why they've moved to this sort of like almost V for Vendetta kind of
Yes.
face mask.
Yes.
And it used to be a person, right?
Yeah.
It used to be.
Be like a jovial dude.
Yeah, and now it's like this sort of
I love
American
him.
Horror Story
It's remarkable.
I love him.
fast food edition, right? Like
Yeah.
it's
He gets up to little hijinks. He's
That's
funny.
it. He's tricky.
He's tricky. He's
But
tricky.
I don't
But the mask
trust
just
him.
drives me nuts.
Yeah.
But every time you think of Burger King, that face pops into your brain. It's
And then I-
seared into your brain.
But
And then
then
I
I-
go to Wendy's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then
No,
I
I
don't
don't.
want
I
to go
go
to
to
Burger
A&W.
King.
It's
after.
seared like those juicy burgers.
They're not that juicy at Burger
Are
King.
you the Burger King?
Hello.
Well, that's it. He doesn't talk. That's it, right? Isn't he just like
just
he's just the face
smiles weirdly.
on a motorcycle or in
Yeah,
a water park
yeah.
or whatever, just
Yeah.
waiting to leer at you through your windows while
And
you shower.
there's another one that's kind of similar to this that I think will probably end up being an honorable mention. But I went with the Burger King just because
Because he's a
because you like him.
I like him. I like him.
You
What
like
can
him?
He's
I
more
say?
of an alternative mascot because previous to maybe even still currently, like they're friendly, they're aesthetically pleasing, they're things that your kids can look at, everybody's fine. And then this guy was a bit more jarring.
Yeah.
And a bit more like, what? And like, I'm in your face and I'm weird and you don't like looking at me.
But I don't think
progressively
Burger King.
weirder.
I don't think
Yeah.
like people like to wear the Burger King mask.
No,
I think they
people
wear
don't.
it ironically, and like discount bank robbers would use that mask.
Oh,
you
that's
know?
horrifying.
It's perfect. It's
It's a perfect mask.
It's very
Mask
big.
for that.
Yeah.
It would
Yeah.
accommodate many a head size.
Yeah, but if someone brings out a Burger King mask in a public event, I'm like, right on, my
That's
dude.
for me.
You're like, hey, did you bring a second?
Yeah. Like, where's
Let's
mine?
be soulmates.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ugh, God. If I turned it, just imagine that you're like sitting in the movie theater and you like look back and that head is back there. I would, that's the
I'd freak
opening
out.
10 minutes of a bad horror movie right
It
there.
is, yeah.
And he has a family, and this is his. No, I'm kidding.
This is his
Feels
livelihood.
very doughboy. Well, great nomination, Leslie.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Jeff, what do you
Vote of
have?
confidence
Well,
there.
I actually, funnily enough, am going to nominate Grimace.
Oh,
Just from
That-
now,
hey.
now.
I'm
now,
on your side.
You mentioned earlier how you thought that the Count was. It's important that the Count because he's royalty, right? Like he's
Sure.
Right.
well, Grimace is related to royalty. Okay,
Is he?
Grimace's brother.
Purple. He's a royal color.
Grimace's brother, King Gonga, is the king of all grimaces. I don't know whether you knew
Well,
that
Grimace
or not.
is a species?
Grimace is a species.
Jesus.
Again, my research has revealed. No, if the McDonald's, it was hard not to think of the McDonald's characters.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they've gone through such huge changes, you know. And interestingly, well, first of all, what is Grimace? Like nobody knows what it is.
Just a big
But did
purple
you know
gumdrop.
he actually started off as the evil Grimace was his name,
Oh,
and he had 4 arms.
Oh,
that's pretty evil.
How you know.
And his job was to steal people's shakes and drinks.
I knew he was affiliated with milkshakes, but I didn't know how.
So he was sort of like the.
I used to work at a McDonald's. I got to wear a Grimace costume.
Oh,
I know. It was uncomfortable.
So he was, and I just find that fascinating that there's this whole law and order thing in McDonald land. You know what I mean? Because you've got you've got the Hamburglar and you've got
Right.
Grimace and you've got but then they reinvented Grimace as sort of this dumb
Just
doofus kind of
affable.
But
thing.
at the time, did they pair up? Was like Hamburglar and Grimace like a tag team? 'Cause
Well, I guess that was it, and then there was
Because
Mayor
Hamburglar-
McCheese
Too many
and
bad guys.
the
and the Fry Guys.
the Fry Guys and the
That duck.
cop and
That duck.
that duck girl. What's her name?
Birdie,
Oh,
I think, yeah.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean it's a whole. As
It
much
is
as I
remarkable.
don't like McDonald's, anyway. So Grimace seemed to me the most interesting
They
one.
planned it out.
And he also there are apparently videos. Like there's Grimace videos and
Of what?
of
It's not filmed.
It's dark.
they involve Donald Trump and never mind.
Grimace did a porno?
Yeah, but it's like Return to Grimace Land or something like that. So or Return to Grimace Island or
Grimace Island. Rough.
And he has a whole family, and apparently his brother is reportedly the king of all grimaces. So that would make him the heir to the throne of Grimace Land.
Wow.
So you. Based on your own argument about the importance
So he
of
just
royalty,
got outstripped.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't.
Grimace of Thrones.
George R. R. Martin's
Ooh.
he's really running out of ideas, that George.
No, but and what's interesting too is if you go to like a small town, an old McDonald's, the old play places used to have all those characters on the walls, and that's the only reason why I know anything about it is from like driving from Ottawa to Nova Scotia and stopping in the middle of nowhere in New Brunswick and being like, "What is this?"
that?
There's
Yeah.
a mural of a bunch of freaky looking.
Oh, and he is the
stuff.
weird uncle too.
He's a
got
weird-
the
Why do
uncle
they all
who
have
shows up.
weird-
The uncle that shows up for
Rolly.
Uncle Rolly.
It's green because he's the Shamrock Shake. He's Seamus.
That's
Seamus
why I thought Grimace was a milkshake.
or
because the
Shamrock
thing-
or something. Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
goddamn
Shamrock
shakes.
Shake.
So
Nothing is better than a
Well,
shamrock.
amazing nomination, Jeff.
Oh man.
Can't see that.
I hate following Jeff, you guys. Can we go counterclockwise next round?
Yeah, Des.
Okay.
Give us a good one.
So you went for a delicious cereal that turns your milk into chocolate milk.
Amazing.
I'm going to go for a more wholesome cereal that because I was forced to eat this all growing up. And so my dude is Buzz the Bee from Honey Nut Cheerios. Buzzy Bee.
Nice.
That's good.
Because he's been around. He was sort of like the dork of the vast list of cereal mascots, and his like on a box
because it's Cheerios is not.
No, it's not for fun.
It's a dorky cereal.
It's not for fun. It's for fiber.
That's right.
And the back of the box is like
it's-
learn how to spell words.
It's good fiber though.
Absolutely.
It's the
And
good
then
stuff.
and then in
Good fiber.
2017, March of 2017, the Cheerios people, General Mills, pulled Buzz off the boxes to promote the decrease in pollinators, and they did this whole Save the Bees thing. So he's a mascot with a purpose, y'all.
Wow.
So they and they pledged they distributed for free 1.5 billion seeds, and there was a bit of an issue with that because I guess the guy in charge of the seeds like didn't look into the kinds of seeds he was distributing, so there was a lot of invasive species that got distributed amongst North America. And I took like one ecologist like a second to be like, wait, what? what are you doing? But and so now I guess there's been a series of commercials where Buzz is missing, and where are the bees?
Oh, I saw that. Yes, yeah.
So it's kind of a good use of your power, and it leans into the Buzz the Bee brand of like, use your brain and think about what's happening as opposed to.
And he's going strong. He's
still
that mascot
around.
he's working.
Yeah.
He's working
Yeah.
for his paychecks. for
Absolutely. He's been he's consistent. When I looked into other characters, it's like, and then they lapse and then they're brought back, but he's
Yeah.
been around forever, and he's just buzzing around making you
Buzzing
think about
around.
He had a great
your
cameo in
breakfast.
Bee Movie, the
Right.
the Jerry Seinfeld vehicle.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Jerry Seinfeld vehicle. What propelled Jerry Seinfeld to fame?
Yeah, that's right.
Otherwise, he wasn't a household name.
No.
But so I grew up with this bee and all this cereal, and then he went on to do something good. But I definitely remember when I would stay over at friends' houses and their cereal boxes would be like red, and there was like all sorts of crap that you'd get in a plastic bag inside the box. And then Honey Nut Cheerios was like, you can make a crossword puzzle, or congratulations,
He is a-
your riboflavin.
Buzz the Bee is a nerd.
Yeah, he's a nerd,
He's
and
a
that's kind of
nerd.
dope. They
That's
don't
kinda
all have
sick.
to be Chester
Nerd's
Cheeto,
the new
man.
cool.
Yeah.
They're not all
Chester
banging chicks.
Cheeto was just bugging Buzz the Bee.
Absolutely, like
Putting him in
hey,
lockers.
Buzz.
Oh, yeah.
I would check Chester's trunk. I think.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
that's where
There
Buzz
might
is.
be,
it has nothing to do with
There'll be
these.
some DNA in there.
Chester
And a dirty
spreaded
shovel.
some false seeds.
Absolutely,
Some weird
Chester's been
seeds.
spreading seeds for a while. Let's not mince
God.
words.
That's right.
There's a bunch of little Chesters running around.
We are moving into round 3, the final round. Man, there's so many that needs to be said, but there's only one more nomination each.
This last pick, I
This
didn't
last
even know.
pick. There's some picks that we're gonna get shit on if we don't pick them, but some are cooler than others. Oh man. Okay.
What's funny? I thought we would have more overlapping.
No,
and
there's-
Part of me wanted to do what you guys did with theme songs, which is like, let's write an answer in a box and see if everybody comes up with that one.
Oh yeah. The
But it is
I
far
think
too late for
I
that.
think it's gonna be hard to come up with a consensus of what the best one is, but we'll see. We'll see how it is, because I'm nominating another banger, another chocolate flavored one. In fact,
Huh?
I like chocolate. Chocolate's good. Count Chocolate's brother.
Baron
Yeah.
Baron von Chalk.
Yes. We are going with the M&Ms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this begs the question that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Is it weird when the mascot is
Yeah.
the thing you put in your mouth?
That's right. That's right. I think it is kind of weird.
It is weird.
But those guys, they sell it.
They play it well, and they're like the two surviving M&Ms.
Yeah.
They've never been eaten.
And I would say the duo counts.
Yeah.
I'm completely cool with the duo.
That
It's red and
actually-
green, right?
No,
It's red and yellow.
Green
Oh.
is a chick.
Yeah, green is
Green
Oh,
wears
that's
ankle boots.
right.
She's got a
Yeah.
bit of an attitude.
She has an attitude.
Oh
And
my
red
gosh.
is all over that.
Yeah,
Meet
it's
my
true.
friend
There's
Chester.
sexual tension there.
Yeah. Exactly.
Green, have you met Chester? And she's like, yes, I've met
Yes,
Chester.
we've met.
Jesus.
Fun fact.
Oh, fun fact.
Oh, I love it.
Yes, Jeff.
The M&Ms were originally voiced by John Lovitz and John Goodman. So,
Wow.
yeah,
I would
yeah.
love to sit in on those recording
Yeah,
sessions.
and then Billy West stepped in from Ren and Stimpy and Futurama.
Oh, real voice guy.
Jeff, I'm
yeah.
really happy you came prepared.
And also,
think you should bring him
there's
on
a whole
all of
bunch
these.
of. There's other characters. So the green M&M is voiced by Cree Summer. who's a voiceover actor. And the late great Phil Hartman was also an
No
M&M.
way.
That's
Is
crazy.
there anything
So
he
like,
can
there's
do?
some serious
That's
pedigree
talent.
there.
That
is talent. And there's and they've managed those guys so well with
Yeah.
like throwing them in party situations, and they're awkward because they're M&Ms.
They've just been working hard, just like the Bee, but more
Yeah.
so. They're around.
They're around.
They're for everything. And the M&M store in like the States and stuff. Like it's an institution.
And there's merchandising.
Yeah.
I know I've somewhere in a box in my parents'
Yeah.
basement. I've got those guys with their like opposable arms.
It's crazy. It was a 3-floor M&M store.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the heck are you gonna do with like they do it?
Yep.
They find
yeah.
ways.
They do
They
it.
find ways. There's fun things to do. There's the you can make your own M&M and you can make it like really really big.
Right.
And the merchandising, there's so many
The
toys.
dudes are pretty funny.
Yeah.
And they're funny.
Yeah.
They're
They are funny.
They have a
They are
good
funny.
dynamic between
That's it.
one
The
another.
duo, I think, adds strength to it because
Yeah.
then you can just make it more about the interaction between those two things, and less like Chester Cheeto goes to
Yeah.
the bank.
It's like Abbott and Costello, but
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah.
and there's
tasty.
definite, yeah.
So the weird thing about the M&Ms though is that they are M&Ms, but you know when they're giving M&Ms to people, those things aren't
No,
living.
they're not like this is my
This is like
extended
this,
family.
yeah. So I don't know how you.
They need to decipher how that works.
I have no
Yeah.
idea how that works.
Yeah. And with all the, and I don't know, there's, when you hear about Grimace and his deep mythology and multiple family members, and then you think, well, geez, like there's pretzel M&Ms and there's almond M&Ms. Like, why haven't they,
They do
established that?
They do
They
have.
are guys?
They're characters.
Okay, I
For
only
those-
know the three. I know green, red, and yellow.
Yeah,
My
no,
world is
there's a
small.
pretzel one, and I think there's
What's his
there's
name?
a guy.
What's his name, Jeff?
Well, I think it's Mr. Pretzel. I think.
Oh,
I don't
come
think it's very
on.
exciting. But there's
I guess
one
the other
for
ones are just red, yellow, and green.
the peanut butter M&Ms. There's an orange character for the peanut
Is
butter
there a
M&Ms. So they've
drunk
all
uncle?
appeared.
So
I don't
there
know.
is
There
the
might
whole
be.
rainbow of them. All right, well,
There
what
is,
do I
yeah,
know?
Yeah.
yeah. Again, it's like
The
and
M-
the great
Because
thing
that's
is
it. It's an
they
alley-oop. Like, there are different guys.
yeah, and they can. The commercials aren't about M&Ms necessarily, right? The commercials are about. It's almost again like
These guys,
the
the
Count
characters.
Chocula. It's like, oh, they're having
Hijinks.
adventures, and
Yeah.
what are they up to?
That's what I like in a
Yeah.
commercial.
Wasn't there one
The mythology.
commercial where one of them like loses their candy shell and is like naked?
Probably.
Yeah.
The
I feel-
green M&M apparently is always taken off her green shell. So
That- don't
I
believe
know.
everything you hear. Don't slut shame Green. She gets to do what she wants, man. She's in a boy's world.
I know.
True, it's true. She's like
in
the
an M's
Smurf.
world.
She's like the Smurf girl.
yeah,
Like
she
there's
gets
only
to define
one.
herself.
Yeah. Poor girl.
No, that's solid. That's solid. And you know what's funny is I never even thought of that. And that was like they were in this. There was a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah. That's what I mean. They go places.
They're around.
So yeah, the nomination is, I guess it would be the duo and not the entire M&M family, because
Yeah.
I think that's cheating. But yeah, the duo.
There's strength there.
Yeah. Leslie.
They melt in your mouth and in your mind.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. So I have a massive list here, and I could either go super safe, I could go super weird, or I could go somewhere in the middle.
Super weird, man. Leave it on the field.
Oh, trust your heart.
What would Mark McMorris do?
He would do a tasty little
I know, chicken salad.
Nardog chicken salad.
And he'd stomp it.
Yeah, and he'd stomp it and smash it. I'm gonna go somewhere in between.
Aw.
I will reveal what my super weird
Please
pick
do,
was
you must.
towards the end. But I'm gonna go the Noid.
Oh, wow. Deep cut.
The
The
Noid.
domino thing. Is it dominoes?
That's
No.
right. It is
Yeah.
Domino's.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Noid.
The
Long
Noid.
forgotten.
Now, refresh my memory. Was the Noid constantly being murdered in different ways in the commercials, like run over by things and smushed up against things?
Oh my gosh, that's a good question.
Because that's what comes to mind is this weird red-headed, like weirdly animated guy,
Yes.
but in a like constantly getting destroyed. But maybe
he's
that's
trying to
not-
steal
I don't-
pizza.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't have notes on the Noid?
No, he was not one of my. Again, I don't think he has any longevity. I mean, we're not into that discussion yet or not.
That is a
but,
good point.
But I mean, the only thing I remember is avoid the Noid,
If-
and that's
You
If
gotta
the
avoid
Noid was half safe and half weird, what the hell was full weird?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you'll
I
have to see.
cannot. I
later
literally
on.
cannot wait.
was the catchphrase avoid the Noid? 'Cause-
Yeah, he was
think
just
so.
he was like a nuisance,
That
and so
seems-
people were constantly trying to.
So how does
murder
that make it a
him.
good food mascot if it's like avoid the your mascot, you know?
I don't know. I think everyone loves pizza, and the Noid loves pizza as well.
Sure?
But avoid the Noid.
Or did he? See, this is where like
It falls apart.
Yeah, this is where it falls apart because it's like, is he trying to ruin pizza or is he trying to steal pizza for himself? And I can't remember, so I'm gonna.
Oh,
Okay.
the grimace conundrum. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
But what was his motivation?
Exactly.
What does he
Noid.
look like? Is it a human?
Well, he doesn't look like
No,
anything. It's
not
sort
from
of
what
like
I
this.
recall.
I just remember the color red.
Yes.
Yeah, and he
it's
has
like
like
a
gloves.
He has
sauce
ears.
rabbit
Yeah.
or something.
He has like rabbit
pizza
ears.
sauce rabbit, like a sea anemone.
Anemone?
Just a bunch of tendrils. I don't remember anything specific.
I'm very curious about your other nominations.
I
here.
can't you just though?
Yeah.
It's an exciting
The
time.
Noid.
The
Yeah,
Noid.
that's it. That's it. That's the pick. I know it's not going to get on the list.
No, but you got to shout him out.
I had to shout out the Noid.
Yeah,
because
and there's a few pizza mascots out there too that are.
But the Noid's not even an ongoing mascot, right?
No.
they
No,
got-
no, that's why I'm
No.
saying
Just
he's
cut.
long forgotten.
like the Sprite mascot, that guy who was
There's a
drawn.
Sprite mascot?
Yeah.
Yep,
What was
yeah.
his name? Fido Dido. Is that
Oh,
him?
God.
okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was also like a '90s. He and the Noid probably
go. That's the Noid right
collaborated
there.
on stuff.
Oh, yes.
He's a
I
rabbit
remember
then.
that from The Simpsons.
What a nightmarish thing to look at.
Yeah, but he's sort of a man in a rabbit costume.
Turns out he's a man in a rabbit costume. Why? We'll never know.
I don't know.
And he's called the Noid.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's like he's annoyed. You're
You're
annoyed.
annoyed.
He's annoyed that
Oh.
you're not having pizza with him?
Man,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
anything can be a commercial.
know. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So here we go. The Noid was a physical manifestation of all the challenges inherent in getting a pizza delivered in 30 minutes or less.
Oh,
Though persistent, his efforts were repeatedly thwarted.
Okay, so that's all the murders.
Yes, that's all the murders. Yep.
So he's a lame mascot.
I am learning so
Yeah,
much.
I'm learning a lot. Jeff, what is your final nomination?
Lynch-
Oh,
Pin.
this is very difficult.
God. I just digging into the Wikipedia article of the Noid. There are some very interesting controversies. So
Oh, that's our homework.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to go with just a little clue. I hope I do this right, but oh yeah.
Hey, he's on my list too. Oh,
okay.
balls.
Sorry, I wasn't sure whether
the wall just tore
I
down.
know.
Yeah, I
I
know.
know.
Guy.
What a weird approach.
the Kool-Aid Man, who
Kool-Aid Man.
originally had the horror film name, The Pitcher Man.
The pitcher man.
Yeah.
Picture man, that's great.
Don't say his name 3 times.
Or he'll come through your wall.
Oh my god.
Is coming through the wall like what
Every
was
single
his,
time.
was that? Yeah, he always did that.
Someone
eh?
would be
Yeah,
like, "Who
yeah.
wants some Kool-Aid?" And then half your house would be destroyed by a menacing 6-foot-tall pitcher of red syrup water.
Yeah, and he's cherry flavored.
Cherry flavored.
Cherry flavored. Yeah.
And he'd
yeah.
have Kool-Aid with him.
Yes.
He never
Yeah.
poured
So he
himself
always
out.
Yeah, he never
He was
did
like,
that,
"Here
eh?
you go, kids," and then he'd go destroy someone else's livelihood.
Weird.
But it was, oh yeah, like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's become like that's shorthand for
Absolutely.
he's been on The Simpsons. He's been in a couple episodes.
definitely
of Family Guy
turned into a pop culture thing.
Been around since 1954, but he was pop culture before that kind of thing. Because there's actually an Atari 2600 game, the Kool-Aid Man game. A video game.
oh,
What do you do? Do you just break down houses?
I have no idea.
Probably.
What it was. But he also had his own comic book as well. So he was. It was a Marvel title for a while, and then it moved over to the Archie, and it was.
Oh my God.
And drawn by Dan DiCarlo, who was like the original Archie guy.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Americana. Wow.
Yeah, and speaking of Americana, for Canadians, for a while he was known as Captain Kool-Aid.
Oh, he was the captain.
He was the
Did he have a
captain.
ship?
I am
The
I don't know
SS
who I am.
Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
This is Kool-Aid.
Or maybe he was an Air Force captain?
Perhaps.
Like-
Who knows?
or maybe he was.
He's a pretty big deal.
So
He's
he's been
a
around.
big deal.
Yeah, he's a big deal.
He's a big deal, and he's
And-
sort of iconic.
Yeah.
And again,
And
it's-
he showed up in an insurance commercial that I saw maybe 2 or 3 years ago,
Wow.
where the joke was like, it looks like a Kool-Aid commercial, and then a State Farm agent is like, you have structural damage because Kool-Aid is an ass.
Little tag team
Yeah,
action.
just ask him
Yeah.
to use the sliding
so
doors.
and that's cross generations, right? Like
Yeah.
it's-
He's a little bit of a dick for sure.
Once
Yeah.
Family
There's a
Guy
door.
is
Come
like,
on,
your
Kool-Aid
thing
Man.
is a thing.
But
it's
he
a
also
thing.
comes
Yeah.
to the rescue, right? Like, oh, we're hot and sweaty. We've been
Yeah.
True.
doing chicken salads on the
Yeah,
half pipe
that's
for
right.
hours, and we
Tasty.
could use a break.
Tasty.
And he'll burst through the
be
snow
close.
ramps.
He's there
and
for you when you
took
need him.
$200,000
And you're a kid, so who
to build.
cares if your house gets a fucking hole
Yeah, it
in
doesn't
it?
matter.
Yeah.
That's mom's problem.
That's mom's. That's,
Mom
yeah.
should have had Kool-Aid at the ready. Let's not mince words.
The parents are just like, how are we gonna? How are we gonna do this? I
Stop.
don't know.
We're a Sunny D house. Stop saying Kool-Aid.
It's only 5 cents a packet, but the
Now, this
structural
is-
damage
How much
is.
do you need?
This is a question Tuong and I had about one of our favorite video games of last year, Cuphead.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
This character
I was gonna
that-
bring this
there's
up.
this character that has a cup for a head, and he drinks from a straw from his own head into his mouth. Do you think that the Kool-Aid Man drinks his own?
No.
Totally. I think he does that.
Think so?
Oh yeah, he's totally up.
He's
He's
a
all
freak,
about
man.
himself.
But then he'd be like,
He's out there, dude.
now I'm just thinking about how his
You don't think like if you put a giant
circulatory
straw,
system works.
If you put a giant straw at the
But
top
then
of his head, and
if that's your argument, then that's all urine.
you think
You know what I mean? Like if
Oh.
he's drinking a fluid and it doesn't leave his system, then that turns into waste fluid. And then when he's drinking is been processed and now it's
Well, maybe
waste
that's what he's
matter.
giving to the children.
Yeah.
No, that's why I was like, he brings them stuff, right?
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
I don't need this anymore.
He's my
He doesn't
discarded
tip
matter.
over and starts pouring.
He sloshes around,
Guess
Yeah.
what I just found?
but he doesn't give them himself, I don't think.
Kool-Aid does slosh around.
Anyway,
yeah.
I'm overthinking it because
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
part of my thing.
He's pretty cool though, Kool-Aid Man. He's pretty
super
cool. And
cool.
sometimes he wears clothes like Hawaiian shirts.
They've all got white gloves and boots on. That's like
Yeah.
pretty standard
That's
mascot
pretty- yeah.
uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got
Oh,
pretty
cool.
popular after
Oh,
that
yeah.
Dane Cook sketch. I remember there was a series of Dane Cook jokes and
Oh yeah.
yeah. Then they animated it.
Who here? Macho Man Randy Savage does he also say?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's very similar.
Snap into a Slim Jim. Honorable
Honorable
mentions.
But
Des,
it's the same catchphrase almost. So Kool-Aid Man was mine and taken. So let's all
Sorry.
moment of silence.
That's good.
But after that, I'm gonna say the opposite end of the spectrum of like super fucking creepy Burger King man is the A&W Bear.
Oh.
So the A&W
The
bear
bear.
is so root bear, like A&W root bear.
That's
so he's just a
fun.
big brown bear in an orange shirt. And this is where I say the jingle is so crucial.
Boom, boom, boom.
We are older than these two.
I know.
what's
So
happening?
the A&W bear, again, just a Canadian creation, and he's just this big bear. He's like 6'5" or whatever, with an orange shirt. He doesn't talk, but he's just there hanging out with you, having good times. And he's not royalty, and he's not a pervert like Chester or the Noid. He's just a wholesome bear.
He's a mascot for the people.
He's got a tuba, like it's just a 4-note tuba theme song. But he's cozy and warm, and he's affiliated with burgers. And then A&W dropped him like a bad habit and tried to launch the burger family. We're like, there's a mama and a papa and all that garbage nonsense.
Yeah.
But I guess they're starting to maybe rally him back. But that song and the image of the bear.
Is it this guy?
No, that's Mug. That's a different
that's-
brand.
no.
But there's one specific commercial that I remember, and it's like they're out in the country or something, and then the last shot is the bear and a kid just walking down like a grass path, and the bear like hip checks the kid a little bit, and it's just so friggin' sweet.
Oh
And he's-
yeah, this is slowly starting
it's
to
just
come back to me.
lovely. He's
Yes.
just a quiet bear who likes burgers.
But now
and root
A&W
beer.
is just that guy.
just the manager
That-
of the
the guy.
store.
yeah, just that.
No creativity at all.
Character actor.
Just a
Here's
short,
what resonates
gray-haired
with
man.
people: accounting.
Yes,
a
yeah,
man who wants you to eat his antibiotic-free beef.
Yep.
That guy makes
This is
so
insane.
much money.
I know,
It's
and he
insane.
doesn't. It's not hard work.
I know.
I'm trying to Google search root bear
A&W
and nothing.
It's a thing.
It's nothing.
I didn't
see
make it up.
Nothing.
Okay.
All right.
On my phone, A&W Bear. Maybe under Wikipedia you have to look up advertising or whatever.
Okay.
So I have a feeling this isn't going to make it.
No,
We'll see.
I'm right there.
But it's just
I'm right
it's
there with you.
sweet, and
Yeah.
for me it's very nostalgic. And I'm also A&W all the way, ride or die.
And he didn't break anything.
He
didn't
never
bust-
broke anything. He wasn't
burst through
mean.
the
He wasn't
wall.
forcing his message.
And he was
didn't
just
have
kind of there,
politics.
right? Like it was
Yeah.
like, oh, we need something, and then
I don't
Yeah,
know.
and he was there.
Feels like another
A&W Bear.
mascot that Chester would just beat up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
well,
you know
I
what?
don't know. I think the bear is
Well,
strong, silent.
there's
and
there.
You get on his wrong side.
Yeah.
He
He's
would just,
noble.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, he would.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
But Chester would play dirty and bring a gun.
I'm
I
telling
feel
you.
like the bear could hold his own.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's a physically imposing thing.
All right. Okay.
But,
well, we'll find out when we come back on Ranked in just a moment.
Des, can we go to the Muffin Man?
Only if you're good.
Top five.
And we're back.
And I'm just gonna adjust your collar. Every ASMR video. Because they need to every ASMR video I've ever seen has always been the person going, and I'm just gonna do this. Like it's like they have to explain.
They have
to.
They have to
narration.
explain that they're about to do something. to
Yeah.
you.
No surprises.
As you usually do when you actually do stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't make me feel like I'm at the hairdresser if I don't want to be at the
So
hairdresser.
at the next Blues Fest, they're just going to do ASMR.
Some guy's just gonna be. So I'm just gonna.
Thank you for all for coming out.
I'm just gonna run this brush through your hair real soft.
And I'm
And the whole audience goes nuts. Front row, front row, front row.
That would be amazing. That would be an amazing intro. And I'm just gonna rock your fucking world.
Hey everyone, we're back. We're back. We had some chips. We did some ASMR, but now we're ready. We're ready to have a top 5 food mascot discussion. All right. So what we have so far is we have Joseph Pillsbury Doughboy. Joseph Pillsbury Doughboy. That's his name.
Mr. Joseph Pillsbury.
Count.
That's right.
Surprise! He's a vampire.
We have Chester Cheeto. We have the Sun-Made
Chester Cheetah.
That's true.
Sorry,
He's not a
You're right.
fucking
He's not
Cheeto.
a Cheeto. I think
God damn
he'd
it.
lose some points if he was just a Cheeto. Chester Cheetah. We have the Sun-Made Raisin Girl, Lorraine Collette. We have Cadbury Bunny, Count Chocula, the Burger King,
Can't even disguise the disdain in his voice.
Grimace. Fuck.
Hey, he's royalty.
He is. He's heir to the throne, which
Yeah,
makes
King
it.
Goo Goo.
We have
Right.
Buzz the Bee from Cheerios.
Dork.
What a dork. But he's a lovable dork.
I know.
is.
He does such good.
And he's fast too, is what because sometimes in a commercial he puts the goggles on and then he goes fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Buzz. M&Ms. We have the M&Ms. The red and yellow one. The Noid.
Woo.
And from the back. Woo.
We have
I
the
went to college with the Noid.
Kool-Aid. We have the Kool-Aid Man.
Oh
yeah.
And we have A&W's Root Bear. I will say Root Bear. That's a great name.
Right?
It's so good.
There's depth there.
There's some depth. I'll say that this list is way different than I thought it would be when we started.
Really?
Yeah, but
Different
There's
how?
some crazy
There's
heavy
some-
hitters
there's
not
some
on the list.
Like
Yeah.
what?
Well, we'll talk about that.
Sorry.
We'll talk about that.
What? I'm outraged. How
I
dare
think
you?
There's a lot of things on here that I'm surprised you guys nominated because I think one of our ground rules is like how well it represents the food. But some of these guys have retired long ago,
That's true.
i.e. the Noid.
But their
Oh, yeah.
their legend stays on.
Yeah, well, I understand that, but the Noid.
We're still feeling the reverberations of the noise
knows?
in
That's
today's modern
He's-
pizza culture.
So the Noid is like the Jack the Ripper of food icons. Is that what
That's
you're saying?
right. Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
right.
The whole axis of the planet shifted once the Noid.
I feel like
You know, I think of my
Okay, so
life
we
in
didn't do
terms
well
of
with our assignment.
Pre-Noid and post-Noid.
Post
Yeah.
Noid. PN. And
I feel like the world is a
PM.
better place post Noid.
I feel like no one's missing the Noid.
To be
That's
fair,
fine.
like I looked at like the Quaker Oats guy, right? Like it was like, oh, that's got to be an interesting story,
Sure.
but it's really boring.
Yeah,
the
'cause
guy
he's
just
just a guy.
liked the name, was like, oh, Quaker, that's like a great name.
Oh, he
sure,
wasn't an
well,
actual Quaker.
No,
I bet Quakers everywhere are pissed.
Well,
Yeah.
but
they're-
can they get pissed? I
and
mean,
do they even know?
I know.
They make their own oats.
So I mean, it's really boring. And like the cheese string, like the Black Diamond
I
cheese
forgot
string.
about
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, but he has like a stupid name. He's like Stringy or something,
Of
or
course.
Cheesy or something. It's like, well, like put a little imagination.
Come
Wait,
on,
Jeff,
man.
are you fighting for the Noid right now?
Name should be
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Gerald.
But why the obvious ones aren't there?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
like,
I think. Well, we'll
'cause
talk
sometimes
about
the obvious
Yeah.
ones are really boring.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's
And
Oh,
those-
that's a good point.
and the cheese string guy, he very well reflects what a cheese string is.
Yeah.
That's what I
But
like
if it's
about
a
him.
yawn,
That's what. But he also gives
get-
like unrealistic expectations of what you can do with a cheese string.
Yeah.
Because you're like, you can make a horse out of a cheese string. You can't. You simply can't. You can just tear a cheese string and that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
I've
So
tried
don't
many
stop
times.
lying to children
Yeah.
about what you can do with cheese.
I feel the same way about toaster strudels.
You just eat the cheese.
Just eat the cheese.
It's fine. That's
yeah.
enough.
Don't-
What more do you need from cheese?
Don't poke your brother with the cheese.
Because every time you have a cheese string, there's there's
It
a
tells
diet-
you what you can do.
Tells you what you can do, but you cannot do it. I've
Yeah.
tried
No.
so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was
I
saying,
love this about you, Tung. Your cheese persistence. I've tried so many times.
I was just gonna say, like the toaster strudel, they always show you what you can draw. You can't do that.
But who the fuck cares? Because toaster strudels are the literal best thing.
yeah, they're so good.
Oh God.
But they weren't nominated.
No, because
there's
they don't have a
nothing- they don't
mascot.
have a
Because they
mascot.
hold up on their own.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Can we just talk about things you put in the toaster next time?
That's
Top
a-
5 things that go in the toaster.
I
Do
love
top
that.
5 breakfasts.
Oh.
Okay, we'll save it for another character.
You thought
I
you
like
you've
this.
gotten shit
I
thrown
like
at you
this.
before, man.
I'm gonna. What belongs on this list? What is an absolute must because I think that's the best way to go.
I feel M&M is a strong contender.
M&M's is a great pick, Tuong,
Yeah.
and I did not consider it. And M&M's is, yes.
They're enduring. They've done a really good job staying culturally relevant by casting great voice work.
Yeah.
They throw them in people places as opposed to some weird like serial universe where Count Chocula is the boss or whatever.
Yeah.
No slight to Count Chocula.
Yeah, and they do so much. The hijinks they get up to is pretty
Yeah.
good.
And they have
sometimes
good writing. Like it's
Yeah.
the commercials are funny.
They try. They
Yeah.
try over there.
They
yeah.
try.
Yeah.
I could use
Plus,
more green M&M.
This talent situation,
Yeah.
the just the names. This is like a cultural touchstone.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, I got the call to be, I'm going to be the
I'm gonna be the yellow M&M.
Yeah, yeah.
I would. That's huge. You could retire on
Yeah. Oh,
that
for
sweet
sure.
M&M money.
And going back to like how it represents the thing that they're
Yeah.
selling, they are literally the thing they are selling.
And they're always at parties, and there's always a bowl of M&Ms.
Yeah.
And they're
M&Ms are
running
good.
around. M&M
M&Ms
is
are
a
good.
solid. That's an easy yes.
Yeah.
What else do we want on this list?
I like the sun-made raisin. I think, it's a little
think she's
plain.
boring.
Yeah, sure. But raisins are
enduring.
boring.
Raisins are boring.
That I guess that is an apt representation, but it's a mascot that you've never seen in a commercial. Like she's not out there
Yeah.
pounding the pavement like my boy Chester, who's going to the going and who's making himself
I think
known.
there have been animated commercials with her. to
Oh,
be fair.
Jeff and your facts.
I think
Stop
I
it.
Did,
remember.
Jeff. Put the computer
But I mean,
away.
they-
Man, like, there's no other M&Ms. He's like, there's like 15 other M&Ms.
Well, actually, no. But the California raisins came in, right? But they gone. And
That's
the
true.
Sunmaid is still here.
It's still there,
You
still
know,
lasting.
That is pretty iconic.
It's not going to be number one.
I don't
I
know
think
if it
she's-
should be
but
numbers
it's
1 through 5.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
she's lasted a long time, but she's kind of boring. She's boring.
She doesn't get me excited about anything.
I don't feel jazzed to see her. I'm like, hey again.
But that might be her affiliation with raisins. But if you take that away, then she's just some lady who got
But when
in a
I say
paint.
box of raisins, what do you picture?
Glossettes.
Chocolate is so coded into your
Oh
DNA.
my God. Yeah.
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 See that,
5 chocolates.
See that instant answer?
Top 5.
There you go. Glossettes.
But I said raisins.
I
Chocolate-covered
don't know that I'd
raisins.
even remember that it's a lady on the box, to be honest. It's like what's on a bag of flour.
Okay.
It's
Well,
a rooster.
Jeff, I'm
but
with
do
you on
I
that one,
do I
but-
care at all about that rooster?
Let's
don't.
table it. We'll go back to
Okay.
it. We'll just go back to it. Like, were you fighting hard for it, Jeff? There?
No. I mean,
Of your 3, what do you think is
I
the
think
heaviest hitter?
the one thing to point out is it's the only female.
That's true.
And it's
You don't know the
amazing.
sex of that bunny.
Well, it's
And if it's laying eggs, it's a lady bunny
But
chicken.
If we want to talk
That's
about
terrible that was the
lack
only
of
thing I could say to
personality,
define myself.
The only
Yeah.
thing that bunny has is the
sound he
fact
makes.
that it can do a chicken imitation.
It's true, but
And
he does
I'm
it
not. That's pretty remarkable
consistently.
that a rabbit
All
can
right.
do a chicken.
All
That's an
right.
interesting
All right.
point.
All
though,
right.
Jeff. I will give you points for that.
But it's amazing how many of the mascots are male.
Laura actually was before the podcast. She was like, "Okay, well, just make sure to say on the podcast there is a lack of female representation in Food Mascots.
Absolutely.
There is. Do
There's
better.
a lack of female representation everywhere, all the time.
but especially
Yes,
Food
that's
Mascots.
true. And that speaks to an interesting point that was made by the creator of BoJack Horseman. This is a complete and total tangent.
Sure.
That how the default comedy mind is men are funny. Even if you're putting an animal character, so BoJack Horseman is a television program that's animated, and a lot of the characters are animals. And he, while he was writing all of his stuff, he just even though it's like a whale, you don't need to gender it. In his brain, he just realized he was always writing them as men. And it took another writer to be like, if a fucking whale is in a Starbucks line, it can be a lady whale. The joke isn't lessened by it. And I feel that is an actual hurdle that comedy has had to overcome. That like women holding like a case full of explosive dynamite is just as absurd as a fucking man holding it.
Sure.
And it's just something
I
that the
think
world hasn't even opened
They
its eyes to.
changed
till
Colonel
recently.
Sanders into a woman.
That's right. The new Colonel Sanders is a woman.
I didn't know that.
It's a thing. So they're trying,
Okay.
I guess.
It's going to be slow and stupid and argue. And my dad will always be like, "Well, I'm still buying chicken. Doesn't matter." Like there's always going to be crusty old men who don't give a fuck about why it's a woman now. But it's just
So a couple
a
points to
world
Sun-Maid
problem.
Raisin Girl. A couple
Yeah.
points, but
Yeah.
I still think she's boring. It's not because she's boring.
Forget that she's boring. Forget that she's boring. She's wholesome.
sure.
I'm also thinking about the thing that she's
You
selling.
know who
me.
else is wholesome? Buzz the motherfucking bee.
Buzz the
Oh,
bee
yeah.
is
Buzz
pretty
the
cool.
bee is pretty
Buzz
You know
the
what?
bee is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
And he did something for the planet, you guys.
Buzz the Bee does a lot of stuff. And
Yeah.
you learn from
Spelling
him.
bee. There was a whole thing about spelling bee and Buzz through Cheerios.
And that goes to your point too, because aren't like most of the worker bees, aren't they female?
yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
So Buzz could be a female.
Buzz could be short for Isabuzz.
Is a Buzzle.
Is this the puzzle?
Yeah, no, Buzz the Bee is like the.
He's
Yeah,
been
he's
around. He's,
lovable-
enduring too. Like
Yeah.
he hasn't been usurped by some other mascot.
Yeah.
And she has a message.
He does have a
That she-
mascot.
that she
And
pointed out.
he's
That's
looking out for his kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like
And
Buzz.
he's a pretty happy guy.
Yes. And he's fast, like
And
you
he's
said before.
fast.
And he's helpful.
And he's always going to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Buzz is always going to do
He's
the
not
right
a
thing.
troublemaker again, like that goddamn Chester.
Well, his name
Just wants
keeps
to-
coming up, so we might as well
I
fucking
love him
get to
too,
it.
though. He wants to get you
love
pregnant
him.
and leave you
I
alone.
love that nomination so much. I want Chester Cheetos.
I want him on too.
Cheetah, sorry.
Because he's so strongly drawn as a character that everybody's like that fucking
That
Chester
fucking
Cheetah.
shit.
Yeah, but every time the commercial would come on, I always like kind of perk
Yeah.
up and like it's like, oh, because he's interesting, he's cool.
And I think it maybe that was a bit of a new thing too, to be like kind of a dirtbaggy guy instead
Yeah.
of like a wholesome thing or a goofy character who wasn't cool.
Yeah. I want to see him with a pack of cigarettes, but every
He
time
is.
he's
He's
just
the Camel.
like the, he's
But
the
what-
Joe Camel.
He's
yeah.
Joe Camel.
but with like a Cheeto as the cigarette, and he just lights that.
He does like those kinds of tricks too. Like they're that kind of aloof smoker magic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he also sells the product.
Yeah.
he does. He moves.
He
He moves
does.
bags.
He moves
Does
back.
he have a thing that he says? What's that
Smoke
called? A
it.
slogan. That's Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Chester was in the mask.
No. Yeah. That's what it is.
Crunchy.
Liar. That's it. That was it.
I think it's you're dead after gym class.
That's right.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's I've slept with your sister.
Even though he's a cheetah, he's so cool that he's just like, I'm just gonna drive my car.
Of course.
Yeah. He doesn't need to
Doesn't
run.
need a run. Doesn't
No.
need a run.
He does it all the time.
Yeah.
Drive his car.
He's slick.
He's cool.
I like him. He's like
Yeah.
Danny Rizzo. Just does what he wants.
Jeff doesn't like him.
No.
But
No.
I'm gonna star him anyways. But
Yeah,
doesn't mean he's gonna be on the final list.
I'm sorry. I'm never gonna give Chester love. I just have
Yeah.
to say.
I will
that.
give.
It's fine.
That's
You're a
fair.
man of
Yeah.
principles.
Yep.
But it is true. I mean, he does represent. We cannot lie that Cheetos are good for us, right? Like,
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
And Chester's
Does he
your
also-
bad boyfriend, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
It's a good parallel there.
Yeah.
You're like, I shouldn't,
I shouldn't, but
but
it's
I'm
Chester.
drunk.
Yeah. I shouldn't, but I'll give you another goddamn chance.
Yeah. Fine. Just stop following me home from work.
It's gonna be a pretty messy night. We have. I'm gonna say Kool-Aid Man.
I was gonna just say, where
Yeah.
are we at in the Kool-Aid Man? Because
I like him.
I like him too. He was on my list.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's
He's
ridiculous.
also pretty obnoxious too. But he's.
And it's, you like to think about the table meetings of like who pitches, like, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
A kid says the word Kool-Aid. Instead of like a mother coming out with a tray of Kool-Aid, we have a giant, like 500-gallon bucket of Kool-Aid comes smashing through into his living room. And everybody's really excited
They're
about
excited.
it.
No, nobody's not excited to see him.
No.
No. It's refreshing.
What if someone was leaning up against the wall? Like,
I think that's what Family Guy does with it, is like the carnage post.
Yeah.
yeah.
Kool-Aid Man. And like, why doesn't this big glass pitcher smash into 1,000 pieces outside your house?
Oh,
You just
'cause
hear like a funk
Well,
and then
because he lifts.
whoosh.
Yeah. Kool-Aid Man
He
works
lifts.
out. He
Yeah.
works out for
He
sure.
can,
Yeah.
he can.
He
Clean and jerk
puts
a lot.
what do you call those? The surface charges around the wall before, so he actually doesn't hit the
He's
wall.
Oh,
He's actually a
That's
trained
true.
demolition
Like-
expert, so that's
a
why nobody
mercenary.
gets hurt. Yeah.
He has a dark
I love
past.
that.
Yeah.
That's great. I've never
That's
thought of
why
that
his
before.
call sign
He-
is Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
That's what
he was a Navy SEAL.
Yeah, he worked on SEAL Team 6. Yeah. It's blood.
it's just a big picture. That's why he's giving you, don't ask what this is.
Yeah.
The blood of my fallen victims. Anyway, here's some refreshing Kool-Aid.
I like him. I like him a lot.
I like him too. I wish he was around more though. I feel like he's sort of fallen by
Yeah,
the
he's-
wayside.
he-
He's now just like a footnote in history and less of an actual.
He's still around. His face is still on the packets though.
But
so.
That's
he's
true.
he's in other ways, like
He's
like you
comic
were
book
saying,
and the thing, the insurance and Family Guy.
thing, and it's still and
Keeping it
1954 was his first appearance.
He's older than my dad.
So
Maybe he is my dad.
He's your dad. Kool-Aid Man's your dad.
I'm half Kool-Aid.
Oh my
That's why people
God.
are always so confused about my heritage. It's because I'm half Kool-Aid. half Kool-Aid, half Dutch Irish.
What flavor?
Ooh, like limonade or whatever, the lemon lime, the
yeah.
yellow one.
Can you stop drinking yourself, please, on air?
It's all. I'm telling you, it's just all urine.
And the other one that I would say is
Burger King. Cool. Nice.
Let's just wrap it up.
Let's put that on there.
Is the Pillsbury Doughboy not going to make this list?
Oh,
Wait, did Chester Cheetah make the list?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, he's starred.
He's starred, but-
Starred. I don't know what that means.
gonna-
I like the Pillsbury Doughboy a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a little off-put by his elaborate backstory. I'd almost rather him just be
I just
a
was
doughboy.
just a doughboy. Yeah. But he has a family,
He
so
has
is
a
he
whole
even
family.
a
He
boy
has to
anymore?
provide.
Yeah,
That's true.
He's a dough man.
He's a dough man. He's a goddamn dough middle-aged man.
That lets people poke his belly and giggle.
Absolutely. And he just likes cinnamon
and
rolls.
He doesn't want to be home. That's like he's
That's
out, you know,
just like all of us.
Please,
He doesn't have a podcast to run to.
Yeah.
Let me just go home. I just want to watch you make crescent rolls. I won't help.
Yeah.
No, he's
What
a
happens
good
if
guy.
you like put the doughboy in the oven? Like, I wonder if anyone's ever done that.
In about 12 minutes, you have to flip him over.
there must be a robot.
There must be
chicken
someone.
episode
for
where
sure.
they
Just
have
someone
them.
putting him in the oven.
Yeah.
Maybe that's like his dying wish. It's like, just friggin' bake me.
Bake me.
Eat me with some like orange juice on a Saturday morning. This is what I've been made to do. I'm not fulfilling my purpose.
Just don't eat my family. But you could take my uncle.
yeah, exactly. Uncle Rolly, he has it coming. He must have been a cinnamon roll, right, Uncle Rolly?
No, he had a vest. I don't know. A vest and a hat. I think.
He would.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what he
that
was.
kind of uncle.
Yeah.
Oh, best uncle.
Yeah.
The doughboy's weird because he wears. What does he wear around his neck?
There's like a sailor cap, isn't there?
No,
or maybe
it's
I'm
a
thinking
chef
Papa
hat.
Fresh.
But
It's a
he-
chef hat. That's right, because he looks sometimes like he has
Yeah.
bunny ears.
But he doesn't wear pants.
No, who has time?
Who has to-
None of them wear pants. Everybody consult your list. A&W Bear doesn't.
Doesn't Buzz? No, he doesn't.
No.
He wears.
He's just a bee,
he's a
man.
bee. He doesn't-
Count
he-
Chocula probably has some dapper tuxedo
The
pants.
Sunmaid probably has a skirt.
That's
Yeah.
a good.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
safe bet. She is wholesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what we have so far is Pillsbury Doughboy, Chester the cheetah. We have Buzz and Kool-Aid Man.
That's just
Is that
4.
all? That's 4.
No,
M&M.
Oh, and M&Ms and M&Ms. So that's
M&M.
5. That's 5.
We're really gonna skip over Grimace?
Fuck Grimace.
All right.
I think you have to. I just put
Okay,
him on the
here's-
list
yeah.
because
I think you need to nod at
you need to
Grimace.
nod to that
I'm glad you-
mythology that they
Yeah.
created.
Yeah.
The reason
McDonald's
why-
is a big.
I'm
thing.
glad you nominated a McDonald's character because I think Ronald's creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh yes, he's
But
trouble.
Grimace to me doesn't sell me McDonald's.
That's true, and he's been off radar for so long as
Yeah.
far as one of the characters.
And I feel like most people
And he
don't
doesn't
know
talk.
his name.
Yeah, and
Most
he
people
doesn't
are
talk.
like, oh, remember that purple thing?
Yeah,
But
it's
he never-
amazing how they've moved away. Like
Yeah.
they've completely sort of divorced themselves from
Yeah.
that, from the kid experience, right?
Yeah.
Which is what it was when it first came
Absolutely.
out. Was like
That Happy Meal
It's
money.
the family place. It's the
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
there's a
now
play
it's-
place in the whole thing.
And now it's the alternative Tim Hortons, right?
Right.
Yes.
That's,
Cafe.
That's where their money.
When I
is
used to
now.
work there another lifetime ago, when I had the opportunity to wear the Grimace suit,
Mm.
that was, the arms were really low. It was really difficult to do anything. But no, even then, and this was years and years and years ago, nobody knew who this guy was or what he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just fun because it was a big mascot suit, but
He's
kids
just
were
a
like,
big
"What is
purple
this?" He's
grape.
like a gumdrop. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
He
he's
just
I don't
toddles
think he
around.
sends a good message. He's just a big overweight
Just a big
purple
amorphous
thing.
blob.
Yeah.
To be honest, I was like just fast. It was one of those things like you can't ignore Ronald McDonald, right?
Absolutely.
Like that's it. And but
That's
I
what
didn't
they did
want
for
to
so
throw
long.
that out there. And
No,
and
'cause
I
he's a
was just
creep.
amazed at again like
The depth of the
The depth
story.
of the story is
Yeah.
pretty.
I like
Yeah.
that he's
Impressive.
basically a prince.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
he's here in some alternative universe being like, I don't know, I guess I'll hang out at McDonald's.
How did they meet? How did they like? This is
Yeah.
and
This
this
ragtag
is like
bunch of misfits.
ripe for a Riverdale reboot, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
McDonald
that
and
would be
Dark.
great.
It's a
Right?
new
Anyway.
Netflix original.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
But they tried that with the
McDonald.
Hamburglar because they made the Hamburglar a real person for a little while.
Yes.
True.
And he was like this
like
sort
a striped
of
pants, the whole thing.
yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
but
Robble.
I'm fine to let Grimace go.
That's okay.
But
That's-
But it was worth acknowledging, and I've thought about it too.
yeah,
So Burger King,
I'm gonna
yeah.
Hard pass.
politely say no, thank
No.
you, Burger
yeah,
King.
hard pass.
That's 4 yeses.
He's just so creepy.
All right,
He's
fine.
so creepy.
I
That's
can't
cool.
get behind his marketing for Burger. He actually makes me want to eat Burger King less.
I would be afraid of seeing him in a Burger King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would
Ranked Nation
turn me off
disagrees.
my
So.
BK Big Fish.
I know all you listeners are out there, and you're going, they're
go.
wrong.
Rally the troops.
What are we thinking about A&W Bear?
I feel like A&W Bear is like the opposite of the Burger King,
Yeah.
but that makes him even like he's sort of unremarkable nowadays.
It took me,
It's
yeah,
not
it
a
took
thing.
me very long
But
to
I mean,
remember the.
and which is
Bum,
again,
bum,
but he's not
bum.
that song.
Yeah,
he's
he's
a
not
bear
that-
in
No,
an
he's a
orange
bear.
shirt.
Yeah. He seems like a nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
Nice guy.
He's a nice guy, but we
Yeah.
have Buzz
Pays
for
his
that.
tax.
Yeah, I know that
Buzz-
we're not hurting for nice guys.
Yeah. What else? Cadbury Bunny.
I'm gonna
No.
say Cadbury Bunny is just a weird anomaly of
Yeah.
of things.
It doesn't really like it's there, but it
Yeah, and it's always been there. I feel like
Yeah.
it's always been there.
but it doesn't really have a personality.
And without a narrator in that commercial, nothing happens.
Yeah.
And he only
Like-
shows up seasonally.
I kind of like that though. That was one of my
Oh.
favorite things. Was it was like the polar bears from Coca-Cola, where you're like, oh, it's that time of year, you know, like that. I thought was a strength.
Right.
But again, like with that, you know, Chester Cheetah and Pillsbury Doughboy, they're driving their own commercials, whereas this is just like a rabbit in a field.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Choose your own
when you put it
adventure.
that, yeah, when you put it that way. The only thing else that stands out to me is my boy. Count.
Oh yeah, the count should
My
be on
Count.
there. I'm actually amazed that we don't have more serial people.
Because
on
I feel
there.
like I feel like that speaks almost exclusively to your personal experience. Like I am a big Captain Crunch fan, but if you are not a big Captain Crunch fan, maybe the captain doesn't carry the same weight. Whereas I never ate Count Chocula, so I
Well,
can't even picture what he looks like.
So growing up, I only ate a little bit of Count Chocula, but I remember seeing that cereal
Yeah.
box, and I was like, I want to eat that cereal because there's a
Right.
friggin' vampire on it.
Sure.
And I think that's a strength of a food mascot.
But that, to be honest, I would never eat Count Chocolate.
Yeah.
It's just something that it's totally disgusting. But
I'm pretty
Because,
sure.
well,
but,
it's not for us
but I was
now.
invested in that. But as a kid, you know,
But as a
that
kid.
was,
'Cause
that
for me,
was
the
that was
captain-
the cereal I always wanted.
you and
the captain
cereal
make it
that
happen.
my mother would never buy.
Right.
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 Was
Yeah,
was
this is what happened.
when you're looking at the cereal wall, when you're a kid, all you're looking for is A, if it has marshmallows, and B, if, there's a cool mascot.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they all,
Count Chocula.
Count
I don't
Chocula.
know. Shoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could be sold. I could be sold on.
I think
But
we
I
need
feel
a
like the-
representative
you know-
from the cereal group. Like,
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I feel
true.
like
I feel
not
there's
enough from
stronger.
the cereal group was
Yeah.
nominated. I think it's
What
people
was
at
it?
Because I
home.
felt like it was dilutional, like because there's so many awesome guys, like Trix Rabbit, Lucky
Yeah.
Charms,
save it
Captain
for
Crunch.
the honorable mentions.
Honorable
Okay,
mentions.
but that's okay. I don't have to agree with all of them.
Yeah, but you could have nominated one of them.
I did. Buzz, the goddamn bee, the
Yeah.
king, the friggin' prom king, class
Well, I think
president
that's-
of
which was
all.
An amazing
cereals.
nomination.
Yeah.
Until you nominated the Cadbury Bunny.
Buzz the Bee.
I just found it fascinating.
Buzz the Bee was valedictorian. for
Absolutely,
sure.
he was,
Oh, yeah.
and most
Based on
likely to be
grades.
successful.
Based on grades, though.
And he dated the hottest looking, like normal girl.
Yeah.
Not one of those crazy
Yeah,
girls.
till the Chester thing happened.
Oh, I
the
know.
whole Chester
But you know
thing.
what? Chester and Buzz, like I bet Chester respected Buzz. Because Buzz is like kind of like good man dork.
Yeah, he's like
Buzz wasn't a
"Hey,
narc. I bet
you're cool."
Buzz caught Chester smoking friggin' dope in the back of the school, and Buzz was like, "Listen, man, it's not good for you, but you do you. I'm
Yeah.
here for you."
Yeah.
And Chester was like, "That's an all right guy."
That's an all right guy, but
No, I
I'm
think
still going to
Chester
nail this girlfriend.
You really hate Chester.
Yeah.
He would still put him in a locker afterwards.
No.
Yeah. Tie him up in the tree or something. Yeah, Chester would do that.
Chester's
Which
not
makes him
malicious,
so
you
cool.
guys.
Makes him so cool.
He's the Fonz. The Fonz wouldn't physically hurt anybody. He'd just get so much cool all over him that he'd pass out.
We have Pillsbury Doughboy. We have Chester. We have Count Chocula, Buzz the Bee, M&M's, and Kool-Aid Man. If there's nobody else, that's 6. So we gotta cut one.
I just want to go back. We did put a
Sunmaid?
maybe behind the Sunmaid.
All right, I can
and
start her.
Again, there is no female representation
I'll
other
s-
than her on the list.
I'll star her. She'd be a hard number 5.
Yeah.
As the solo female representation on this panel,
Ooh, the card.
I mean, I don't want to softball a woman into the top 5 because she's a woman.
Okay.
know.
But I think she's iconic.
Okay.
In a way, like 1915 and to
I don't
today,
know.
it's
1915
still
is a long time ago.
yeah, but she's still
But she's still
we're
there.
looking at things
She's still
like
on the box.
the Noid that didn't even make it is a decade.
We don't
right?
need to
Well, the
mention other
Noid
picks.
was-
I mean,
I don't know that
you
she's a
know-
mascot the way all these other things are mascots. Like when you think again, like the thing that's on flour, like there's pictures on boxes. Does that make her a mascot?
that's a good.
Well, she's been used
Like
in
the sun on
advertising
Sunny D,
campaigns.
is that a mascot? It's just
No,
the
there's no
image that's
face.
on
There's no
it.
face. If it had a
okay,
fa-
but I mean, use your brain and think of a better example than that. But that's what I'm getting at.
I use my brain all the time.
It's not what this podcast is about.
No, I see your point.
Like if it's just an image on a piece of merchandise, is it?
I think
a
she.
mascot?
I think she is a mascot.
Yeah.
But that said, I think
She's
she's
been trademarked.
the weakest out of like a lot of these, personally. Mm-hmm. But that's how I feel about raisins.
It's raisins
Kidding.
is the problem.
I like raisins a lot. Actually.
Oh, we're gonna make this about raisins.
Yeah.
All right, man.
the raisin council.
But
will be
looking
like,
looking at what else we have, even though I really like the Sun-Made Raisin Girl, I just can't see it within this list.
yeah, we've got some heavy hitters. here,
Yeah.
you
He has
guys.
some big guns.
But a strong number 6 for me.
Okay.
Yeah, strong number. What's the bottom of the list? 12. No, kidding.
Whoa.
Just kidding. Burger King's way down there.
Yeah, Cadbury Bunny. Cadbury Bunny's like a circus sideshow. It's not actually.
Sorry,
a
my
thing.
can's cut out. What?
I'm staring at your nips.
Oh, that's not what it is. Okay.
No. I don't want to say too much hate on the Sun-Made Raisin Girl. She
No.
doesn't do anything.
She's a
for me.
pioneer,
Yeah,
and she's done some
She's done
good
a hell
work.
of a job.
Hell of a
Paved the
job.
way for several other raisin.
Yeah, but I just don't think she can hang
Yeah.
with her competition.
So we gotta do one more off the list.
Chester.
No, I think Chester has a strong enough response that Chester's going to make that list.
I'd like Chester more than Count Chocula. I'll give you that
Why do we
ranking.
have to fight against those two? I knew that would be the fight though, because if I look at the Pillsbury Doughboy,
Buzz the Bee is strong.
Buzz the Bee's good,
And M&M's are
is
M&Ms,
like
too
yeah.
good.
probably number one.
Yeah.
so-
I would say,
Kool-Aid.
yeah.
But
Whoa. Well,
Don't say Noid.
But I see.
Don't
But
say Noid.
I see a whole thing of characters here. Okay, I've got the M&Ms who do this constant back and forth. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I got Buzz the Bee who's saving fucking lives. Okay, I've got Chester Cheetah who's we all know. Woo.
Yeah. Pants feelings, Chester Cheetah.
And then we have Count Chocula who I guess goes on adventures.
goes on a lot of adventures. Let's
Yeah.
not sell them short.
So then we have Kool-Aid Man. And
Oh,
we have
Kool-Aid
the,
Man. I forgot about Kool-Aid Man.
So we have the Kool-Aid Man, and then we have the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yeah.
Now they're kind of one-trick ponies who've been riding that one pony for a long
Pretty
time.
hard though.
Pretty, yeah, sure.
But they haven't evolved? Is that your
They
point?
haven't. They haven't evolved. They're,
Sorry. I didn't. There was a Chester Cheetah comic book. Was that right? Did I miss that?
Oh, he's coming for you, Les.
They're very well like that.
There was.
There was a
There was.
Chester Cheetah
There was.
video game.
There was a Chester comic book.
Was there really?
Yeah, there was. It was all in Archie Comics.
In Archie Comics.
In Archie Comics, I would flip around, and then eventually it hit like a one
But
page.
not a whole comic.
It wasn't.
I don't know if it
dedicated
deserves.
to them.
I wouldn't read a whole Chester comic.
but-
Okay.
Considering how hard you were defending the Sun-Made Raisin Girl, who also didn't have a comic book, I don't know if comic book is the litmus test you're allowed to throw
just saying
around.
for if you're gonna call them one trick pony, it's like video game and comic book, right? And been on The
okay.
Simpsons.
Oh, yeah,
and
for the
been on
Kool-Aid
Family
Man.
Guy, right?
So no, but yeah. So my point.
Okay.
had a cameo in an insurance.
So my point is
commercial,
then
you
it's
know?
like then I would cut the Pillsbury Doughboy over and keep the Kool-Aid Man
yeah.
because the Pillsbury
I
Doughboy.
feel like Count Chocula needs to
I-
be cut first then if we're using that because
Yeah.
he's just sort of hanging out on a cereal box. Nobody's doing any
He's
jokes
such
about
a
Count
cool
Chocula.
cereal guy, but
No,
I-
but they I mean, they had they were animated. They did things.
they did stuff. They did do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
we're
let's-
gonna be here all night.
Well, let's go back to the main thing. What makes a good food mascot is the food, right?
Does it represent the food?
Does it represent the food? Are they selling the food?
So Pillsbury Doughboy is made of the food. M&M's is made of the food.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid is
guy,
made of the food.
It's him.
Buzz is
He's selling his
arguably made
pee.
of
Buzz,
the food.
Buzz makes the food from his butt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And then that leaves.
That's how bees work, Leslie.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess
That
at
means
the end
our
of the
friend
day,
the Count.
At the end of the day, I'm looking at Count, and he's probably the one that has to
Bye.
go. Even though I like him a
right.
lot.
And that's you
he's-
don't have to stop liking him. He's just not the best.
Honestly, like again, it's not my favorite cereal. It's not. Out of all the ones that turned your cereal into chocolate.
Of the 4 cereals.
Probably my least favorite
Yeah.
chocolate making cereal.
Right.
Yeah, we're forgetting about
Okay.
I'm
That's-
Cocoa
yeah.
for Cocoa Puffs.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's like
Cocoa
that
Puffs,
makes 5.
Nesquik cereal.
There's a lot of them out there
Yeah.
that turn
The
your cereal
Reese
to chocolate.
cereal.
Mm-hmm.
But he is the coolest mascot out of them all.
Yes.
And I will give you that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree with you.
Yeah.
He can hang out with
But I
some
don't think he can't.
Count Chocula is
Bye.
on the blockula.
Oh!
All right. So we have our 5. We
have our 5.
Pillsbury Doughboy, Chester. We have Buzz the Bee, M&M's, and Kool-Aid Man. Let's start from 5.
Pillsbury.
Pillsbury?
Pillsbury. Strong 5.
I know Jeff's Chester. I might.
Oh no.
I might.
Jeff, be cool, man.
I don't have strong feelings.
Okay, wait. Does Chester also ride a motorcycle?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, for sure. He's
But has he done it before?
Oh,
I-
100%.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
but Chester's a guy who doesn't park in the lines at the grocery store.
But
you know what I mean? Like
that
that's
is
a-
what he's supposed to be. He's
what he
supposed to
represents.
be like
But
the counterculture mascot.
girls-
He's not counterculture.
I mean, well, no, you're right.
He
That's
is
a
condo.
mistake. He's a douchebag. He's
Yeah.
supposed
Yeah,
to
but
be
He
the
thinks he's counterculture.
quintessential douchebag because Cheetos are a douchebag food. There is no content in it that is worth eating. It is just full of plastic turned to puff.
It's cheese dust.
It's
Yeah.
cheese dust compressed into a hard,
Yeah.
weird shape.
Yeah.
So in that case, he is a tremendous representation of the product.
Yeah.
Okay.
But girls like him because they think they can change
They
him.
sexualized him to make him fancy.
Yeah.
Look at him. Look at him thrashing on that bike.
That's true. Look at that. That's a West
Look at
Coast
him.
chopper
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
Do you ever see him with his sunglasses off?
No, because
No,
those eyes are
he's baked as
bloodshot.
fuck.
Those eyes are
Chester?
red.
Take off your glasses. This is an exam.
I'd like to see the commercial where he tries to go through airport security. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, the glasses are part of me.
So I see Pillsbury.
I don't know.
I think Kool-Aid should be far near the bottom.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
he's not out there.
One trick pony.
Yeah, that is a good diagnosis.
But a
I know
good
he
pony.
He was born of stuff, and he's made it in the top 5. But
It's a good pony without a trick.
I would
but
put
it's-
him above Pillsbury.
Me too.
oh, okay,
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
okay, okay.
don't know.
I'm okay with that ranking.
Pillsbury gets by off his cuteness.
It's true.
Okay. What do we think is the hard number 3? The middle
I
of
think
the
Chester's the number 3.
road. Really?
Yeah.
I give Chester number 3.
I could give Chester 3.
You can give Chester 3 after wanting to put him on 5.
Sure, yeah.
I was gonna say Buzz the Bee.
No.
Oh no! Don't do that to Buzz.
No, Tuong,
right.
you're wrong.
Okay.
Buzz can be number 2.
Not using my brain.
That's Chester Cheetah. Yeah. Not using my brain. Trademark Chester Cheetah.
Let's see.
Buzz the Bee for sure a hard 2. Nothing can topple the M&Ms. I think they are the king of this list.
Yep.
Breaking news, gang.
Chester took off his glasses.
Chester Cheetah did not only have just one video game, but multiple video
Yeah,
games.
he did. Multimedia darling.
Did he have a
Chester
gun that
Cheetah.
shot Cheetos?
For Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo.
Wow.
That's
And
perfect.
I'm sure he did have a gun that shot,
Shot Cheetos.
Or maybe he just put out situations with his charisma. He just showed up and everybody was like, be cool, be cool.
Yeah.
Or he shot people with Cheetos.
Let's see. Okay.
I'm happy with Buzz the Bee being number 2. I think Buzz would be happy being number 2. I feel like it fits with his personality. And
Yeah, because ultimately he is a nerd.
yeah, and
He's
he's
a
just trying to do
freaking
good
nerd.
work.
And nerds don't win.
Yeah, and they're all right with
Yeah,
it.
I'm okay with that. If we go 1 M&M's, 2 Buzz, 3 Chester, 4.
Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid. And Chester,
Really, I still think I don't know what I like better. I guess Doughboy's kind of a dope.
He's a dope that gets poked in the tongue. Tom.
and he's classic,
Yeah.
but
Kool-Aid Man has a little bit more going for him, I think. Just a little bit more. Because how much does a Pillsbury Doughboy even talk?
he does.
That was more Mickey, but
I don't. You know what?
It's very
I don't know
similar.
how much
It's
he
very
does.
similar.
Yeah.
But, you're at a party. Pillsbury Doughboy's there. Kool-Aid Man's there. Who are you going to be like?
More excited to see.
yeah. Oh,
yeah.
That's,
Hey,
no.
You're
Yeah.
the guy that breaks through the walls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Or
How's it-
you'd
how
be
you
really
been?
pissed if it was your house. Like,
Yeah.
you just fixed your walls.
It would be like, how did you get in
Come
here?
in through the garage.
And you have like some people at your parties like, I'm going to say Kool-Aid. No.
Stop it.
Stop it. Stop saying
Yeah.
the K word. Yeah. I think Kool-Aid Man, strong number 4. And we have our list.
That's it.
Wow.
That's it.
Satisfying.
All right, number 5, we have Pillsbury Doughboy. Joseph. We
Joseph.
have number 4, Kool-Aid Man. Number 3, freaking Chester, just fighting his way up the list.
He's that
Cujo.
scrappy
Cool,
one.
man.
Cujo and Chester.
Yeah, that's definitely the Cujo of this list. Chester the cheetah. Number 2, we have Buzz the bee.
Out there
Yeah.
doing good, saving lives.
And number 1, we have M&M's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who I always
Of
look
course.
forward to the commercial. Whenever there's a
course.
new M&M commercial, it's like,
They're
oh,
always
great.
good.
And they're funny.
Yeah.
They're funny.
I would watch that over a Minions movie any day.
I would, if they made an M&M's like DreamWorks picture.
Oh,
I bet it'd be great.
Ugh, but
No,
don't, though.
don't.
But
Yeah, that would ruin it.
Remember the
Ruin
Emoji
magic.
movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great,
Yeah.
great.
Oh my God, you didn't sit through that.
So
Oh
fun.
God,
Oh,
no. But that's what happens when marketing turns into film. But they're they're making these little 45-second movies, and that's all they need, and they do it well. And let's not fuck with it because it's a equation that works.
Don't
And that
fuck with the
green-
M&M's.
that
They're
green
poets.
Yeah.
M&M with their candy shell. Whew.
Right? And those little go-go boots.
Yeah.
She's always a little upset, and guys like that.
That's right.
In the M&M
Especially
store, there's
Chester.
actually just the green M&M hanging out behind the curtain if you want to pay extra. So.
Of
Oh,
course.
no.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
Just kidding. It's no.
Okay, I'm dying to find out what your weird one was.
So
Leslie.
we're gonna go into honorable mentions. How about that?
All right.
Yeah,
Great.
let's do it now. I'll go first, and then Les, you can go second. Okay.
Okay.
For
Fine.
your place,
All right.
okay? You're
No,
no
you're right.
M&M's.
You're
You're
number two.
more of a Chester
Fine.
cheetah.
Or do we want to build suspense and make me go last?
But I'm dying.
I had Count Chocula, obviously. I had Snap Crackle Pop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what?
People are gonna rage against that one.
those tricky
Yeah.
triplets.
I wrote just down Snap and Crackle. Because fuck Pop.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Yeah, Pop
There's a
brings
loser in every
but
bunch.
Pop makes things interesting. Pop is what makes the trio work.
Pop makes the world go round.
Yeah.
All right.
Jolly Green Giant.
Yeah.
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 That's I had it.
Julius Pringle.
What?
Now there's someone you don't
mustachioed
want to
man.
talk to at a party,
Oh,
right?
on the can?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, hard pass.
He'd regale you with very interesting stories about the time that I was shopping at Canadian Tire the other day.
Toucan Sam.
Yes.
The Little Caesar.
Yes.
Taco Bell. Chihuahua, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Tony the Tiger.
Yep.
Yes.
I feel like he
He's a
was
motivational
pretty big omission over there that we didn't get.
Well,
him
I
on.
He
thought
was a
about
heavy
him, and then
hitter.
I chose Buzz because
Yeah.
they can't just be a serial conversation.
no,
Yeah. He's great.
he's great. He's pretty great. Lucky Charms Leprechaun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quickie, which is the other chocolate
Yeah.
cereal here. Really great.
Oh, the Nesquik bunny?
The Nesquik
Yeah.
bunny,
Okay,
yeah.
great.
Kool-Aid Man, Mr. Peanut.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's a hard one because that peanut has
He's
a
fancy.
monocle
Yeah.
And a cane.
and a top hat.
Yeah, he knows what's what.
classy as fuck.
It's like the
He's
Monopoly
classy.
Man, but a peanut.
I also had Chester and the Pillsbury Doughboy, and that's it.
Okay.
Leslie.
All right. Here we go. I'll save the weird one for last.
Please.
Okay.
So I have Ronald McDonald, of course. Hamburglar, of course. The Kraft Peanut Butter Bears.
Oh, those guys are so cute.
I don't know if he has a name, but the Fisherman. We all know what I'm talking about? The Fisherman.
From
Highline fish?
Yeah. He has
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a yellow
Yeah.
raincoat and
yeah,
everything.
yeah, that guy.
The Lardland Donut Man.
I have never. That sounds made up.
From
He's holding up a donut. It's a very
Simpsons.
famous
looks
sign.
like that Simpsons thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Hamburger Helper Glove.
Yes.
The California Raisins, who are great. This is the one I was fighting with between this and Burger King. Probably should have went with this. Jack in the Box.
Oh,
Jack in the Box is also super weird.
but that's like a U.S. thing. I don't know it.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know
very
it.
funny commercials. Jack in the Box.
Okay.
The Sugar Crisp Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but he's
Yeah,
pervy and weird.
sugar crisp.
Right? That's just straight
Yeah,
up weird.
he is a
That's
little bit pervy.
solicitation.
I still like him better than the A&W.
Definitely
bear.
likes like smooth jazz.
I said it. I
You
said it.
definitely like him more. There's
I will
no
take
sexuality
the
about
pervy
the bear.
over your
For just a big,
really
friendly
Wears
neighborhood
a
bear.
turtleneck.
Yeah.
The bear wears a turtleneck.
And he's just leaning up against a bowl going,
Yeah.
yeah, you know you want it. You can't get enough.
Him and Chester would get along.
For sure, they're probably roommates. Don't go over there alone.
A lot of smooth jazz going on in that abode.
Really
Yeah.
smoky beaded curtains.
Yeah. The Tricks Rabbit.
Yeah.
Fred Flintstone. And then you guys brought up drinks, and I wrote down a couple. Captain Morgan.
Oh, wow. Yep.
The Dos Equis guy.
Yes.
The most interesting man in the world.
That is very good marketing.
Macho Man. And then here it is, guys. Here's the weird one. A lot of build-up. I feel like people are going to be let down. The Vlasic Pickles Stork.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know this one.
It's just a stork.
It's just a stork who sells pickles.
Why? Who cares?
Who cares?
Doesn't matter.
Pickles look like dicks. I don't know. Babies and I don't know. But the Vlasic Stork.
Yeah, and doesn't he have like an affectation? Isn't
Yeah, he's like Vlasic Pickles or something like that. I think,
sounds like an old Jewish story.
I think so. I think
So there's a deli tie into the voice, but the stork is still completely anomalous to the rest of the
Yeah.
No sense.
I like this guy. He's wearing a hat and he has glasses and everything. And a bow tie.
He's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
Accessorized.
He's a count.
He's
Probably. He's a vampire.
Yeah.
Don't turn your back.
Jeff, what's your honorable mentions?
Well, a lot of them have been mentioned already. I will go back to Snap, Crackle, and Pop just because there was a lot of fun. The fun
fun.
thing about them is there's a different thing in every language. So, of course, we know them as Crick, Crack, and Crock, right?
Of course.
But in Finnish, they're Rick, Rack, and Pock. And then even in Afrikaner, they're Nap, Netter, and Nack.
That's so awesome.
So that's kind of fun. Anyway,
That
right?
is so awesome the way things sound.
And how they keep the rhyming throughout
Yeah,
all
the
the
pattern
language.
is
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of fun.
Oh, that is super fun.
The other one I had, where is it? The Coca-Cola Santa.
Oh,
They
yes.
made him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which
That's actually a really
has
good
been
one.
in the ads since 1920. And it's just a very interesting history of how it was created. And it's if you do get a chance to look at it, the illustrator based it on, of course, the visit from St. Nicholas, the poem, which is from the 1800s. And then the model that he used was a friend of his, was a traveling salesman. And that created the contemporary, like what we think a contemporary Santa is today. And then the cool thing I discovered is that Santa had a sidekick called Sprite Boy. And I don't have my phone with me, but if you can look up Sprite Boy, it's pretty creepy. And he was around sort of in the 1940s, which was before the drink Sprite was introduced. Anyway,
Wow.
but it was...
So he's like some kind of elfin.
yeah,
kind of
he's
guy?
elfin,
I
but
don't
he
like
had
him.
a bottle cap. He sort of looks like Astro Boy.
I don't
if
like him.
Astro Boy.
Is he off-putting?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No,
he's
hard
pretty
no.
creepy.
Oh, wow.
When they pick
Yeah.
a really old man to play an elf, that's what that face looks
This
like.
looks like
Yeah.
an old school horror movie.
Yeah,
Picture.
no, it's sort of like a ventriloquist dummy or something.
Yeah.
like
But
a-
anyway,
Good
but
call,
I
good
think that's
call.
like if you're looking at advertising and how it can affect
how it
our
creates
perception,
our-
like Santa Claus became, and it was interesting reading about Coca-Cola going, well, we didn't mean for it, but it
Mm-hmm.
was just Santa Claus was red and white, and our colors are red and white.
should have
And that worked
nominated
out
that,
really
Jeff.
well.
Slam
You know?
dunk.
Well, it was, but I don't know. Grimace was
Grimace was
weirder.
there.
Grimace
Yeah.
is
We
he's a
talked about
prince.
what we
He's a
wanted to talk
prince.
about.
Yeah.
He's a
Grimace was
prince.
there.
Heir to the throne.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, that was it. You've hit everything else.
All right.
Or over Orville Redenbacher that I mentioned before, but
Cool.
yeah.
Des.
I mean, you guys have cleaned up pretty much, but the Gerber baby was one.
Yeah.
But he's not really just any one baby. He's all sorts of babies. Captain Crunch, because Captain
He
Crunch
also
is
has a
freaking
name
dope.
too. A crazy
And he
name.
has a history. Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
a story.
Horatio.
yeah, that's
Nice.
it. That's it.
Yeah.
Amazing. The Coke Polar Bear. But I wanted to do a little shout out to some local mascots because I was at a Santa Claus parade this Christmas and I didn't realize that like the Pita Pit has Pita Pete.
Oh.
Which is just like a wrap on legs. Gabriel's is a purple bear, just sort of dressed like a guy.
Okay.
Kind
Right.
of like the A&W root beer.
Cool.
And then out in Orleans, we have a man called the Garlic King.
Yes, the garlic.
Who made his own Pope Mobile and is his he's made himself the mascot. And if you go into the restaurant, he has an animatronic version of himself that he can turn on and moves around like the Hall of
Amazing.
Presidents. And
Wow.
so he's just making it happen.
I love
Wow.
that.
Yeah.
I love
That's
that.
my
Amazing.
shout outs.
That's great.
Great.
Keebler elves, by the way.
Oh, no, the Keebler Elves.
Just remember.
That's a good one.
That's good. That's good. Well, we did it. We
did it.
made
Oof, man,
lists.
that was hard.
That was hard. That was surprising. A lot of
bloodshed,
discussion over this
tears.
very important topic. I'm glad we were able to finally make a list like
Passion
this.
is there.
That's right.
Yeah. Leslie Cserepy, thank you for being here. Of course. What do you have to plug?
Yeah. Find me on Instagram at instagram.com.
Cool. Is that it?
He's plugging Instagram.
Okay.
They need your help.
Geoff, do you have anything going on in your life that you want to plug?
Actually, no.
Wow, this is a terrible
I know.
plug section.
We're all coasting into spring here, but
yeah. Well, we don't know when this is releasing.
No, we
so
don't
this
know what.
could be
That's the thing. I
Who
would
knows?
say, like
Can the people find you on the internet?
Yeah, people can find me on the internet. I'm on the Instagram. I'm on the Twitter. You can check out Thunk Theater, which is
I love
my
Thunk.
company
So
that we do stuff with. Where hopefully we'll be doing a bread workshop. One of the things we do, we get together and make
Awesome.
bread with people. That will be happening hopefully in Bayshore in March. So
Great.
Cool.
Here's hoping this airs before March. My name is Desiree. I'm a member of Crush Improv. We do a show at Yeaah's last Sunday of every month, and Crush is also coming to the Ottawa Improv Festival that is happening shortly.
Cool. This is definitely airing after.
So Crush just fucking destroyed a set
nice.
Yeah,
at
destroyed
the
it.
Ottawa Improv Festival because that's what we do.
But
But
you guys
last
do
Sunday of every
monthly
month
shows.
is a thing.
Yeah.
And Crush also does this show called Bout Time where we were in a team
That's
and there just happens to be a trophy.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right.
And who are we facing?
Well, we were champions already coming
Yeah,
forward, and we
yeah.
met up against other champions
That's
who
right.
themselves in their time won the trophy, and then we ripped it out of their cold hands.
Justly
We
so.
maintained it. We destroyed them.
Don't know what you guys are talking about.
It's fine. Tung, you were there, weren't you?
No, what are you talking about?
Well, I can't remember the
It was
details.
like a fever dream. I don't remember any of
I
it.
blocked it from my memory.
Chester
and
was there.
Of course, me and Leslie have a podcast. It's the Improv Punch Up. You can check it out. You can check that thing out. Leslie, what's it about?
It's a podcast where we take scenes from movies or videos, movies or videos, and we take clips from different media and we punch them up using our improv skills. We make them better.
We make them better.
That's right.
And that's it. And that's it for the show. Thanks everyone for being with us.
Thanks for
and,
having us.
Can we go to the fucking Muffin Man, please? Des, please.
I want to hang out with Chester, honestly.
No. He's going to borrow money from you and he's never going to pay back.
He might. He might.
Gonna leave
He's
an upper
going to
decker in
hand
your
you a
bathroom.
copy of Zen and the Art of Motorcycle
Motorcycle Man.
Maintenance. It's like, oh, this is the best book ever. It's the only fucking book he's ever read.
It's true. Oh my God, I've slept on that guy's futon.
Oh, of course he has a futon.
I've been there. Just 2 stacked futon mattresses on the floor.
Oh.
Love that guy. Take care. Bye, everyone.
Bye.